we do. We rapping for the crib, so it's always about the you. Hey Jimmy, please get a Bell on the phone and tell him that it's on. I finally got his name on the song. Can't do it wrong, cause it sounds so sweet. You speak the fast while I keep the crowd on their feet. Football season be the reason that I be bringing this heat. Georgia music representing 104.3. Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Is it Monday already? Goodness gracious. Man, weekend flies by. Crowder is running about 10 minutes late. We know who he's taping an interview with for The Pivot, and it's a good guest, and he's on his way to the hotel right now. He will join us in about 10 minutes. Do you know what city he's in, Solana? I could take a guess based on who the guest is, but I'm not 100% certain.
Well, no, I don't know what city he's in right now, but I would say that guest, I don't believe, lives in the city he's most known for. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does to me. To no one else, though. Anywho, the Florida Panthers, over the weekend, they were officially eliminated from the playoffs. That's okay. I got a couple of texts from friends of mine out of state who don't follow hockey other than, when the postseason rolls around, and there were a lot of headlines about the Panthers, first team in however many years, maybe first team ever that have won 2 back-to-back titles in any sport and then failed to make the playoffs the following season.
Right.
And, a couple people giving me grief, and I'm like, you just didn't follow. This is the three-peat Bulls missing Michael Jordan for the entire season the next season and Scottie Pippen for half the season. So, there's no shame in the Panthers game.
And probably even more. This is, and Tony Kukoc, I don't know who stayed on with that first. I'm just
right.
Names that I remember. Tony Kukoc out for 4 months of the year, and the Panthers were missing, I'd say 6 to 7 of their best players at any given moment of this regular
the
season.
Entire season, Kachuk a lot of the season, Marchand a lot of the season, Kulikov. We could go down the list. This was a hospital ward at the Panthers facility. So no shame in the Panthers game, but they are officially eliminated from the playoffs. We have one live broadcast coming up still from the Amerant Bank Arena, which I scheduled at the beginning of the year thinking it would be a great broadcast leading into the postseason. But alas, it will be, I don't know what it'll be like.
The post-mortem, right?
Yeah, but you got to wait till the season's over. There's 3 games after we're there still. I don't know. Anyway, Inter Miami, they had their debut match at New Stadium. And Leo Messi, of course, scored Miami's first goal ever at the New Stadium. Wasn't the first goal ever scored, but it was Inter Miami's first goal ever scored. A beautiful header. The first 2 goals were headers. How do I know that? Well, as I was doing my gambling for the evening, I didn't realize you could bet on over-under on headers as goals for a game.
Wow.
And I was like, I thought they were a lot more rare. So I was like, nah, I'm not touching this, man. There's no way that there's going to be a goal header. And then all of a sudden, there were 2 in the first 15 minutes. It's like, I would have liked to have the over in that. But we're going to talk today. Donovan Campbell from WSVN is going to join us. He was there at New Stadium. Got rave reviews from everything I saw on social media. The traffic problems never seemed to materialize. A lot of people took public transportation. I saw Joe Shad tweeting about it from the Palm Beach Post, saying that he got on the Tri-Rail at Deerfield Beach, took it to Miami Airport, $5, and then walked from the airport station over to New Stadium. He said it was a pleasure.
I would say I read a lot of tweets from people regarding the traffic leaving the stadium, which for a lot of people who were in cars was, quite bad, up to about an hour just to get out of the stadium. I also saw a lot of people who didn't take the Tri-Rail, but were taking the Metro Rail back into Miami-Dade County or through Miami-Dade County, that train only comes every 30 or so minutes.
See,
And
that needs to be fixed.
Right. And those things will all get fixed. And there were thousands of people waiting for a train. So that was kind of a disaster. But Hoch, all in all, considering what I thought was just going to be this chaotic mess.
Yep.
You had to go with some patience. They warned everybody, hey, this is going to be kind of a little chaotic. Everybody understood that, I think, for the most part. And it was a success.
It's a stadium with thousands of people. It's never going to be the easiest in and the easiest out, but it was not Carmageddon,
right?
Which we were expecting.
Right.
Somebody puts on the chat, Jimmy, welcome back. Sorry about your abuela. We mentioned on Friday, condolences to you and your family. Jimmy lost his grandmother, and that's why he missed Friday's show, but we were all thinking about you, Jimmy.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Glad to have you back. It is Masters week. Scotty Scheffler, by the way, is the favorite at plus 500. You know we will talk plenty of Masters on this program.
Yep.
We do every year.
Do you have your Masters wrappers?
I do.
For your pimento cheese sandwich? Like you still you held on to those?
Yeah.
Okay. Psychopath.
Yeah, that's a tradition unlike any other.
Okay. You holding on to garbage wrappers that were...
Well, it's not garbage wrappers. It's wrappers. It's game-worn wrappers from Augusta.
Gotcha.
Yeah, what?
Okay. Game-worn wrappers of a sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, don't you pay extra for a game-worn jersey?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Well, I've got match-used wrappers from pimento cheese sandwiches.
But a jersey, after it's been used, to just go in the wash, and then it'll be used again. A wrapper, usually after it's been used, will go into the garbage.
Mm-hmm. But I use it here, and that way it's like being at Augusta. When I sit down, and generally, when I had the backyard, I would sit outside in the backyard. Now I sit on the balcony, got the TV out there. I sit on the balcony. I'm watching the Masters, Saturday, Sunday. And then I'll ask Lori, hey, can I have a pimento cheese sandwich, please? And she'll make one, and she'll put it in the Masters wrapper from Augusta that John Ruth and other listeners have brought back for me. And it's like I'm sitting there, on the 9th fairway at Augusta.
Lori has to be just thinking, where did I go wrong when she's putting your pimento cheese sandwich?
I've got enough wrappers for the both of us, so we both get to enjoy.
Yeah. Enjoy that, man. Have fun with that garbage.
We love it every year. Looking forward to it. Scotty Scheffler's the favorite. March Madness concludes tonight. Michigan is a 6.5-point favorite over UConn. I think I'm rooting for my guy, Dusty May.
I get that. What's the alternative? Rooting for Hurley?
Danny Hurley?
I mean, I guess just because it'll be fun, but yeah, I get that. I get FAU fans going for, even though
Did you watch that video that Coach Larinaga sent us about Dan Hurley?
No, I didn't watch it. No.
He sent us a video. It's his wife on the set before the game. He wears a lucky bracelet for every game, and it's like prayer beads that he got in Jerusalem. But he got them years ago, and they're falling apart. And so her job is to go to Hobby Lobby and get new beads as the thing falls apart and sheds beads. And she's like, there's probably more Hobby Lobby beads on this thing than Jerusalem beads at this point. But before the Final Four game, the thing broke again, the little wristband, the elastic band that the beads are on. And she said to him, or he said to her, hey, make sure you have this ready. And then the game is just about to get underway. And the assistant coach goes, hey, where's the bracelet? He's like Kevin Garnett in Uncut Gems with the stone.
Right.
And she's like, oh, my God, I forgot the bracelet. It's at the hotel. She goes, I had to leave the Final Four game, get to the hotel with a police escort, get the bracelet, bring it back, game's already underway, with a police escort so that he could have his prayer beads, which seemed to be working.
It only is crazy if it doesn't work, and it's working.
Right? Anyway, I think I'm rooting for for Dusty May. All right, let's do and so on the show today, Michael Biamonte is going to join us. Now, he is concluding his 35th season as the Miami Heat public address announcer. And they honored him this weekend at the Heat game. It was really cool. He got his flowers, as most public address announcers never would.
Correct.
Because most public address announcers are not there for 35 years.
Right.
And Mike B has been the soundtrack to a Heat game for home games.
Yeah.
For as long as they've been around, essentially.
Yep.
And so that was almost the end of his career. I think there's
One more home game.
one more home game and then a play-in potentially, or playoff.
Potentially a playing game, depending on where the Heat end up in these final 4 games. But right now, it doesn't look good. They're the 10 seed. And potentially, if they play their way into the playoffs, at least 2 more playoff games.
Somebody puts, you know how old Hoch is when he references Hobby Lobby, a franchise that died 20 years ago. It's Danny Hurley's wife's story. I didn't make it up. And by the way, there's a Hobby Lobby in Boca. Hobby Lobby's all over the place.
Hobby Lobbies are as popular as ever now with these TikTok influencers who are just buying nonsense for their houses all the time. Like Hobby Lobby.
And I'm repeating Danny Hurley's wife's story. What do you think? She said Michael's and I turned it into Hobby Lobby?
Did you see the video of him after the game the other day walking? I think I sent it to you guys, walking through the tunnel. And he just looked like, who's the guy who used to like be the CEO of WWE?
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon. You know that walk that he does? Like,
yeah.
Just like strutting his shoulders, the arms flapping around. He's walking through. It's like he's a UFC character or a WWE character. And he's like pointing at people. His eyes are super massive. He's like walking with this crazy swag. And I saw somebody comment on that. Dan Hurley, great coach, insufferable douchebag.
He really is a nut job. I think he's one of those guys, there's certain guys in sports, we've talked about it, Dennis Rodman being one of them, where I imagine maybe Dylan Brooks is probably that kind of guy, where unless he's part of your organization, you just loathe him.
Hate him. But you know what, Hoch? With Dylan Brooks, I feel like the second he steps out onto a court, he gets into a character.
He's a character.
Like in radio.
He is so in on the bit. He is so in on the bit. Now, that doesn't mean that he doesn't lose his cool a lot when he's on the court, because he does lose his cool. But he delivers on that bit every time he steps on the court.
Our radio show, like we're playing characters at times, Yep. I feel like Dan Hurley, I'm sure he's just a psychopath in general, loves coaching, and you've got to be a little crazy to be a head coach at that level. But I feel like when he's in the public eye and people have eyes on him, he is playing a character, and he does it really well, man. Really
he does do it very well. Some breaking news. You see UNC is hiring Michael Malone as their next head basketball coach.
I don't understand what the hell happened here. The Nuggets fired him because the GM and like a week before the season ended, this guy was an NBA winning head coach, NBA title winning head coach, considered one of the top 5 coaches in the NBA.
Yeah.
And nobody in the NBA is going to hire him? Like the Bulls. You're telling me the Bulls
I was just thinking,
bag at him?
I would love to see the Bulls have Michael Malone.
Crazy.
Got a text from John Ruth, Sports Hall of Fame and Museum, and Masters season ticket holder.
That's right.
Which we know is the rarest of the rare. They don't do that anymore. He's grandfathered in. He just texted me, a box of something to use with the rappers is on the way. So some Masters treats, maybe.
John, don't feed into this psychoness, man. Like,
something is a brewing with the Crowder's there. Where are you, Crowder? I was just because Solana told me off the air who you were interviewing, so I was trying to guess off the air where you were, but then Solana said this guy doesn't live where you would associate him with.
There's no association with DC.
Is that where you are?
Yes, I'm in the District of Columbia.
Lori went Went to school in D.C. Loves that city. We love that city.
Nah, it's okay. Strip clubs are terrible.
It's a great city.
That's the capital. The capital of the United States.
That is
We
correct.
know.
You are correct.
It's
let's
the DMC, the DC, Maryland, and something else. It's like the little circle.
D.C., Maryland, Virginia, something like that.
It's the DMV.
DMV. There you go.
That's the Department of Motor Vehicles.
No, it's not.
Bro, I live right next to a DMV. Have you? I don't know how often you guys drive by a DMV. I don't know. I'm talking about I could pretty much see it from my house. The amount of cars and people that just get dropped off outside of DMV, at least in Dade County, the night before. Have you guys seen this? Has anybody seen this?
Because if you don't have an appointment in advance and then something happens with your license or whatever, you've got to wait hours.
Bro, people were camped out 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night the night before, waiting in their cars.
Why
They
the
sleep
ticket
in their
wizard
cars.
lives in a big old house and goes fishing.
DMVs are the worst experience in the history of time.
Yep.
Amen.
I think DMVs are our relic from like 70s and 80s Soviet Union stories. We used to hear these stories of what it was like to try to get a phone installed in your apartment in Moscow when it was part of the Soviet Union in the 70s and 80s. The customer service was non-existent. They showed up if they felt like it. Like all these stories. I believe DMVs are our version of that.
Well, don't show your.
I'm not going to show the numbers, but that was me at 22. I'm never going back again.
I just renewed my license. My license was expiring on my birthday. I renewed it. It was a play. I didn't go to the DMV. I just sent them $50. They sent me.
But if you ever have to go to the DMV, you make an appointment online. If you make an appointment, because DJ wanted to get a new license when he turned 21, so he didn't have the vertical one.
Right.
Made an appointment several months in advance. Literally walked in, walked out in 5 minutes.
I don't think so, Hawk. Not in day. I don't know.
No,
I don't want to.
If you make an appointment, the reason people line up is because they don't have appointments.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
DMV
and I would say going to the DMV and getting audited by the IRS were the worst, two of the worst times I've ever had in my life at an office.
Yeah.
You've been audited. You got to prove that you're yourself, which was weird to me. I'm Randolph Channing Crowder the second. Are you Randolph Channing Crowder second? Yeah, that's me. Are you? Yes. Prove it. You have to prove you're you. Like, yes.
I once had a kidney stone.
Huh. Did you pass it naturally?
I did.
Ooh, I heard that's not a fun idea.
Nah, it was easy when you're working with the kind of heat I'm working with. It's like,
okay, you got a big gun.
I mean, I got to pass a jelly bean.
You got a big gun, 12 gauge.
Your nickname in the hospital was Bazooka.
Mike Biamonte is going to join us, and Donovan Campbell is going to join us later. And you got March Madness tonight, and Marlins make their debut on the FM stick tonight. 100,000 watts of FM power behind the voices of Jack McMullen and Steven Strom this evening. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a big step for our Fightin' Fish, who, by the way, beat New York yesterday.
I saw that. I was proud
lost 2-3, but you know what? Go to the Bronx, win one. I'm down with that.
It's the Yanks. Didn't they go to the World Series last year?
No.
Headlines brought to you by Durrell Hyundai. You always pay less with your Pricito at Durrell Hyundai. Visit them at Durrell Hyundai or DurrellHyundai.com.
They didn't, right? The Dodgers beat the Blue Jays in the World Series.
Guy.
Yeah, the Dodgers beat the Blue Jays in Game 7.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Rob Pizzola was there.
Yeah, that's right.
Heartbroken.
A heartbroken Rob Pizzola.
Speaking of Rob Pizzola, if he doesn't come on this week, then he's avoiding the Buffalo Sabres smoke. And all of you should apologize to your boy. I tried to get us all on the bandwagon for the Sabres. We could have made some good money on the Buffalo Sabres.
I'm ready to root for them. Since the Panthers are out of it, I'm ready to root for the Sabres.
Let's go, baby.
Call that a dumb mistake.
Speaking of baseball, got a DM from my son this morning, and it was, one of those WTF stats things, and it was Shohei Ohtani currently leads MLB longest active on-base streak, 38 games, longest active scoreless inning streak, 22 2/3 innings, and DJ said he may end up top 3 athlete in history. And I said, that's a good debate topic. And then DJ wrote, I know this is an insane take, but I think Jokic is a top 10 all-time athlete.
That's your son, because y'all always go overboard.
And I said to him, I think Solana would agree with you. And he wrote, horrible take then, if he's agreeing.
Okay, so he got a little me in his heart then.
Exactly what he wrote. Horrible take.
Why'd you send the laugh emoji there,
the Shohei takes made sense, and now you have to go overboard.
You don't think Jokic could be a top 10 athlete of all time?
No, in every sport.
Yeah.
No.
Man.
Because you can't have that many basketball players, right? So MJ and LeBron are going to be in the top 10 all-time athletes.
Kobe has to be there too.
Maybe. Tiger's going to be in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Serena Williams.
Right. You have to have a tennis player.
Novak Djokovic.
Yeah. I mean, you probably.
What about Agassi? Like, if you really think about this, it's going to be deep.
It's got to be Serena.
Agassi doesn't even come close to.
I think one tennis player goes in, and it's Serena.
Well, no, because on the men's side, Novak Djokovic, Roger, and Rafa were all more dominant than Serena was on the women's side. And you guys know how much I love Serena Williams.
But she changed the game.
Yes.
Like, to me, like, she brought eyeballs to a sport. I guess I'm including that in.
Yeah, I get you. Like, what their impact.
Yeah.
In taking the sport to another level. I get that.
But don't talk about impact, Solana, because your argument about Jordan's impact over LeBron, you always want to put it to the side.
No, I don't want to put it to the side because I told you a billion times. I think legacy-wise, Jordan's legacy is unmatched. Like, nobody has a better legacy than Michael Jordan.
Jordan and LeBron are on that list.
Yeah.
Top 10 athletes of all time. I'd really have to think about it.
Messi.
Then we go start going football.
I'll have this list. Leave this to me. I'll have this list done by 4 o'clock.
You're going to say some goofiness.
Right. Yeah. Luis Suarez, of course.
And a golazo.
Norman Powell.
And Norris Cole. Yeah.
Yeah, Inter Miami, aside from
Muhammad Ali. Someone's texting it. There's no chance Jokic goes top 10 all time. Unless DJ's only talking about the 4 major sports.
Floyd, Tyson.
But he's not top 10 yet. But he could be top 10.
What does he have to do to get top 10?
Win more rings.
3 more championships?
Jokic? Win more rings. Yeah. I mean, that ultimately, that's how you end up as a GOAT in your sport.
Wayne Gretzky.
Tom Brady. Wayne Gretzky.
Tom has to be. Tom is on there. Wayne's on there. He's top 30.
Now I'm not certain LeBron makes it.
What, the old golfers too?
No, stop.
I think Tiger. I think you have one golfer.
Nicholas?
Either Nicholas or Arnold Palmer, but I got to go with Tiger. I can't put more than. I mean, it's debatable whether they're athletes at all.
Yeah, they're gonna text you about that one.
Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
He's more famous for a beverage than he is his golf game. And that's not disrespect. Like, that's credit to him, but he wouldn't go above Tiger or Jack.
Not so certain that you're familiar with Arnold Palmer's golf game.
No, that's not
he doesn't know what he looks like, Hawk.
Well, I know he's white.
I'm going with Vijay Singh.
All right,
I don't have enough time with Mike Biamonte, so let's wrap it up.
Yeah, the Marlins are going to play the Reds. They open up I believe it's a 4-game series tonight. 6:40, as Hawk mentioned, their FM debut. Steven Strom gets you going with the pregame show. Jack McMullen is on the call. The Heat will play tomorrow. Norman Powell cleared to play. The Panthers, as Hoch mentioned, officially eliminated from playoff contention. And Inter Miami has been
Solomon Hill making an appearance.
Salo. Inter Miami drew 2-2. My boy Luis Suarez with the equalizer. NCAA tournament final is tonight. UConn and Michigan. And shout out to the UCLA women's team. They won the women's tournament. And Jaime Jaquez's sister, Gabriela Jaquez, went off 21-10. And 5.
Angel Reese traded
for 2 first-round picks. She's going to the Atlanta Dream.
Yeah.
I might have lost a bunch of money betting on Dawn Staley, but I did see Jaime Jaquez Jr. 100 times in that little itty-bitty tank top.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had his stomach out. I got to talk
Dawn
to him.
Staley was getting crushed on social media because she didn't. Did you see the shirt she was wearing?
The Balenciaga?
Yeah. It had nothing to do with her school. She was just wearing a Balenciaga t-shirt.
And I'm watching it. Ava's in town. I'm watching with Asia. My daughter plays basketball. And they're both saying, like, is Dawn Staley going to tell them anything? They're down by 20. She's just sitting down chilling like she's watching a movie. I'm like, Dawn, yell, do something. I got hundreds on this. Do something.
She had the fire fit on, man. I mean, that's it. She did what she had to do. Your weather right now, it is 83 degrees. It's hot, man. It is very hot. This weather report was brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping homeowners stay safe this storm season. Visit tornadoroofing.com for a free roof and window estimate.
All right, Mike Biamonte is going to join us in the next segment. He is concluding 35 seasons as the Heat public address announcer. So we will send him off with our flowers after he received the organization's flowers over the weekend. Low testosterone, that's a real issue for a lot of guys. It can lead to poor sleep, low energy, brain fog, reduced sex drive, makes it difficult to stay in shape. That's where Atlantic Men's Clinic comes in. Atlantic Men's Clinic are the experts in treating low testosterone and other men's sexual health conditions. They have successfully treated many men for low T, including me. I'm here to tell you, you will absolutely notice a difference. If you're like the many men who are low T, within just a few weeks, you'll feel your energy return, the brain fog will go away, your sleep will improve, as will your workouts, your sex drive will be significantly enhanced as well. I've been getting a testosterone shot once a week at Atlantic Men's Clinic for over a year now. Thrilled that I do. Wish I had started sooner, to be honest. More than just testosterone, Atlantic Men's Clinic can help men lose weight, support metabolism, improve gains in the gym, and more with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more. With the low T treatments combined with the body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. No joke, as you get older, you notice decreased sex drive, putting on weight, less productivity at the gym. You wake up feeling tired, you fall asleep after dinner. If you have those symptoms, schedule a consult with Atlantic Men's Clinic. They have 7 locations in South Florida. Call them at 877-455-7300. 877-455-7300, or you can visit atlanticmensclinic.com. Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
All right, I'll start with Chuck here. Chuck in Miami Gardens.
What they do?
That's for you, Crowder.
This report
There's our guy, Michael Biamonte. I've done a video with him before. I can tell you an interesting story about the sound waves behind him. That's a good piece of art. But Mike Biamonte is with us, and he's on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Just to take you behind the scenes here for a second, we have a private chat for guests and hosts who are entering the program. And Solana put on the chat when Mike B had signed in, hey, Mike B, we'll be back in about 3 minutes, which is just a whiff of epic proportions on the chat. So Mike B writes back, 2 minutos would have been better. And it was so easy. It was sitting there for you, Solana, and you completely whiffed on that. You literally told him 3 minutes. Why wouldn't you drop a 2 minutos on him?
Because you can imagine I don't want to use too many jokes before the interview starts. So
anyway, Michael Biamonte is joining us here on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. He's been the public address announcer for the Miami Heat for 35 years. He is hanging up his microphone after this season, which is rapidly coming to a conclusion. And the Heat honored Mike B at the game this weekend. And we wanted to make sure that we brought you on to thank you for your 3.5 decades of being the soundtrack to Miami Heat games at the arena. So first, before we do anything, allow us to give you your flowers, Mike, because you've really been a part of this Heat experience for 35 seasons. Hard to believe, huh?
It is really hard to believe, Hoch. It's been an incredible journey. One that when I first got the gig, if you ever said to me, hey, this thing's going to last 35 years and you're going to have announced over 1,600 games and 6 NBA finals, I see, you're out of your mind. But when you find a great job with a great organization and you get along as well as we did and the South Florida community accepted me, it has just been amazing. It's been fantastic.
How did you get the job? How did you end up as the public address announcer for the Miami Heat?
So I was announcing college ball at FIU, and I was working in corporate America. And so I'm in the insurance business by day. I'm announcing college basketball at night. And one day I'm sitting at my desk at work, my day job, and the phone rings, and it's Mark Prey from the Miami Heat. And he says to me,
oh, he used to be the UMSID, I think, right?
He had been, right before he was with the Heat, he was with the Washington at the time, the Washington Bullets. Then he came to Miami. I believe he did spend some time with UM as well. He says, Mike, our announcer is sick. Can you fill in and announce the Heat game tonight? So I'm like, well, yeah, of course. Absolutely, I can. So I went down to this is back in the day, the Miami Arena, 1990. And I announced the Heat against the Seattle Supersonics. The Seattle Supersonics don't exist anymore. I think they may pretty soon again.
Yeah.
But they went on to become now what people would know as the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I announced the Heat and the Supersonics. I get through the game. Think I did a pretty good job. Don't remember any kind of big mess ups or anything. And the next day, I get a phone call from Mark who says, we'd like you to be our permanent backup. Great. I'll take it. I'll take the gig. So a year later, the guy who had the primary job leaves to take over a family business. They open up the auditions again. I re-audition, or I auditioned really for the first time. All I had done was that one fill-in game. And I would say about a month after my audition, I get a phone call from a name everyone knows. At the time, he was an intern, I believe, still, Andy Ellisberg. And Andy Ellisberg calls me up and says, we'd like to offer you the job as our primary PA announcer if you'll have it. And I took the job right there on the phone with Andy, and that was 35 seasons ago.
And Mike, I've actually looked at the back of your head a number of times. I've walked out the Grey Goose Lounge and stared at the back of your head. I've walked out of Hyde Lounge and looked at you in the face. You didn't know I was staring at you, but I was staring at you. But the hardest part of this job is dealing with Hoch. What's the hardest part of being the PA announcer for the Heat. One of those times I was back with Wade and Shaq. I go way back then. That's when I got down here in 05 and 06 season. But what's the hardest part of doing what you've done for 3 decades?
You know, Crowder, that answer's probably changed over time. Like with anything, you do it long enough, things change. I would say it's something that probably fans don't really recognize, but this transition from back when I first started, when players would come in off the bench to want to check in the game while they're waiting until a stoppage in play, they would sit down on the floor. And they don't do that anymore. Now everybody stands up and the coaches encroach closer and closer to half court. And if I've got 2 Heat guys checking in and 2 guys from the other team, and I've got 2 coaches and I've got referees, I can't see a damn thing.
That's funny.
Mike, when you're preparing for a new player and how you're going to pronounce his name, what was the biggest challenge with that? Did you just kind of go with something, say it out loud, and say, I like this? Because, I've asked you this before. Did you ever get tired of saying Dwayne Wade's name? But when he's drafted, even though he's a 5th overall pick, you can't imagine the impact he's going to have. You're going to say Dwayne Wade's name 20,000 times over the next 20 years. And had you not had that iconic call, maybe you wouldn't have had that same punch. Maybe you would have had to have changed it when he reached the level he did. There's just so many different layers to that. How hard do you have to really practice somebody's name before you say that's how it's going to work?
Yeah, Solana, there is, for me at least, there is an art to how I'm going to announce players' names. Now, the example you bring up with Dwayne Wade is extremely interesting because drafted by the Heat. And when we drafted him, we had no idea Dwayne Wade was going to become Dwayne Wade. But he did.
Chills.
A lot of the guys that came to the Heat, we kind of already knew who and what they were, right, especially if they came as free agents or they came in trades. But the one thing that was always important to me, regardless of how they came to the Heat, was that there was some uniqueness to the way I said each name so that they don't all sound the same. Because if they all sound the same, then nothing has anything to it. And so I look at a player's name, I look at the syllables in the name, and then I think about what can I do with that player that maybe represents him a little bit, or maybe does something a little different to stand out that I didn't do for other players. So, for example, when Shaq came, his nickname, one of the many that he had, was the Diesel. And so I came up with this thought in my mind that I would say his name and kind of make it sound almost like an engine. So that's where the whole Shaquille O'Neal came in. With Zoe, it was, it just had to be powerful. Alonzo Mourning. And then Alonzo Mourning slam dunk morphed into good morning.
Did you have to get those approved? Because with Shaq, it was diesel power on the assists.
I will tell you this. Now that we're coming close to saying sayonara, I'll tell you the God's honest truth. I lived by the adage that it was easier to ask for forgiveness than it was to ask for permission.
The best way to go through life.
I and that may work in everything in life, but I would drop it, and then I would kind of side eye looking over. Is anybody coming over? Is anybody mad at me? If nobody said anything, then guess what? It was good. That's how a Clarence Weatherspoon assist became spoon-fed. The first time I dropped that, I'm like, oh, man, somebody's going to come and nail me for that. But they loved it. And so we got pretty lucky.
What about a guy, Mike? It's so cool to talk to. Like a guy like you, D. I don't say journeyman, but didn't think he was going to be what he is for the organization. And you always have to go for like he's just another guy on the 15 to he is a staple in South Florida sports. Do you change your approach to UD as you see his career mature?
Crowder, I really didn't. I looked at the syllables in his name and how it would work. And And the interesting thing about his name is the U in his first name, at least to me. That's where I really thought I could get a good ignition whenever I said his name. So that's when we started, Udonis. And then once I did that, I said, well, if we're going to do that, then we got to bring it back down. So it was Udonis Haslam. We got to have that temperature thing going. There you go.
Heard that 100 times.
You want to play piano bar for us? Someone wants to hear Luol Deng on the chat.
It's funny. I joke with people all the time. I'm like the human jukebox, right? Like the president, Heat 33, do Alonzo Mourning, But it depends. Which Luol Deng do they want? Do they want the Heat Luol Deng or do they want the visiting Luol Deng?
No, we want the visiting Luol Deng.
Luol Deng.
The best. I absolutely love that. Luol Deng. Give us your Mount Rushmore of Mike Biamonte calls. So 4 of them, because you could make a case for so many of them. Solana, your favorite is what? Too Many Steps? Because you drop that all the time.
I have my top 5 Mike B calls in the Solana household if we have time for them. I don't know.
Can you knock it down to 4 and give us your Mount Rushmore? What you got to take one off.
Okay, Mike, when Hoch says you're the soundtrack of the Heat, I'm not kidding. Like, this is multiple generations in the Solana household going to every Heat game, and you are the soundtrack. Like, my brother is devastated that you're not going to be there. When you used to introduce Eddie Jones, followed by Damon, you wouldn't say Jones. I don't know why. We got a kick out of that.
Well, that can't be on the Mount Rushmore.
Roster. That's our Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, but I don't want your Mount Rushmore. I want the Mount Rushmore.
These are deep cuts, man.
I don't want deep cuts. We're doing the biggest hits of the last 35 years. You're giving me B-sides.
When you would say, now arriving to the American Airlines Arena, which changed for some reason. Then you went to now pulling into the American Airlines Arena.
Solana's doing a different show, Mike B. I apologize.
Are you listening?
What are your
address that. Now arriving at the American Airlines Arena, I thought matched with American Airlines because flights arrive. So that's why I came up with the now arriving at American Airlines Arena. But
Solana's doing a South Beach session.
I don't want Solana to hijack the show here.
Let's
get to the top 4. I'll give you mine. Number 4. No basket.
Yeah, that's got to be on there.
Number 3, Too Many Steps.
We all hear it in our head. Yeah. Who fires off that sound?
That comes up from upstairs.
Do they ever miss it?
Oh, they do, and boy, does that make me mad.
I bet, right? You're waiting for the drum solo, and then the drummer's asleep at the wheel.
Number 2, and now stand up and make some noise for your Miami Heat.
And we all know what number 1 has to be, right? Do we all know it?
I think we can all probably do it together. 2 minutes. Dos minutos. That's it. That's
a good Mount Rushmore.
Better than Solana.
That is.
What did you think of Solana's deep cuts? What else did you have on your deep cuts list, Solana?
I had Luol Deng.
Yeah, that's a great one. That is a great one.
Mario Chalmers.
I've got one for Hoch and Crowder. I don't know if Solana would know this one, but this is going way back. One of my favorites, a cult favorite. Bimbo Coles.
That is a great one. Did you workshop any other Dwayne Wade introductions? Like, could we have heard something else over the years? Because it's so iconic to us. D-Wade, Yeah. But was there something else in the holster that maybe could have been the signature call?
I don't remember there being any kind of alternative, Hoch, because, his last name is so short that I almost had nothing else to do but elongate it. So
right.
I said, you know what? If we're going to elongate the last name, we're already elongating the first name. This is what it's going to be. It's going to be so long that he's going to score a basket. By the time I finish saying Wade, the other team's already scored and coming back the other way, But listen, he's the only player ever in my 35-year career that no matter when I said his name or how I said his name, checking in the game, checking out the game, scoring a basket, committing a foul at the foul line, anytime the name Dwayne Wade came out of my mouth into the microphone, the crowd went bananas.
Yeah.
No matter what. And I never had a player like that before him or since. Never will.
Mike, you have to have announcers fatigue with a guy like Wade or some of those guys. You say his name 7,000 times.
Or Bam on 83.9.
That. Although, he did score a lot of free throws. That helped me out a little bit that night. But, to tell you, Crowder, a funny story about that, Wade comes back as a member of either Chicago or Cleveland. The first time he's with a team other than the Heat, I've said, Dwayne Wade all my life. That game, that first game when he came back as a visitor, I'll never forget. Every time he would make a shot, I really took in my head a quick beat to say, doesn't play for the Heat anymore. Doesn't play for the Heat anymore. So all of a sudden, Dwayne Wade became Dwayne Wade. It was just so strange. So strange.
Did you ever go into the lab thinking, all right, I got to make this one work. This guy's going to be a star here, and I've got to really come up with something with a flourish. And so you spend 6 hours working on an intro for Mike Bibby, and then all of a sudden you find, hey, this guy ain't going to play. This guy's going to be out. Why did I spend all this time coming up with a big intro for Mike Bibby?
There certainly over the course of my career and all the games, there's been players that, you expected to be something that they eventually did not become. The good news for me is no matter how I said their name, if they didn't perform on the court, I didn't have to say their name. So, I mean, you didn't hear it very much if they either were on the bench or they weren't playing the game too well. So that really was never much of a problem. And I don't know that I would ever have disrespected a player by changing the way I say his name, because my interpretation of how he was playing the game was, man, this guy's terrible. I'm not going to say his name.
Mike Bibby.
Quick. I know we're running short on time.
Yeah.
Has a player ever addressed the way you say it, or has anybody ever addressed you as a player standpoint to you like, hey, you're putting the emphasis on a place I don't want the emphasis?
So I have one Heat player and one visiting player, if we have time for these. The Heat player is a guy by the name of John Sally, another old school player, John Sally. John Sally got traded, signed with the Heat, and before he ever played a second for the team, he came up to me and he said, my name is Spider Sally. You never call me John. You always announce me as Spider Sally. So he was Spider Sally for his entire Heat career with me. On the flip side, the Orlando Magic had a player that everybody commonly knew as Bo Outlaw. And Bo Outlaw was just a brute of a guy. I mean, just a big guy. Well, I came to find out that his given name was Charles. So the first time he came to Miami, he's in the starting lineup. I introduced him as Charles Outlaw, not Bo Outlaw. Well, he didn't like that much at all. So he came over to me at the scorer's table and he says, hey, my name's not Charles. My name's Bo. Only my mom calls me Charles. Well, I've got some, I think I got a little something for him. Plus, I've got the scorer's table between he and I. So that gives you a little bit more. So I said, you know what? You're playing in Miami. I'm the PA guy. Your name is Charles, and I'm going to introduce you as Charles. And so he kind of stares at me and gives me that sneer. Every time he came to Miami, he was introduced as Charles Outlaw. And he would look over and we would lock eyes and laugh with each other. And it became a great joke, a fun thing. But that's really the two stories when players wanted.
Great story. All the guys in the league to step to. You step to Bo.
Well, again, like I said, when I got the scores table between he and I, so, I got an easy out backwards. He's got to go over the top of the table.
What great stories, man. Well, Mike Biamonte, we just have always, I think I speak for all of Heat Nation, been fans of yours. The waveform behind you, by the way, on that piece of art, what is that waveform?
So that is my voice waves saying the iconic "and now stand up and make some noise for your Miami Heat." That was a gift from my wife and daughters for my birthday. They grabbed the track, they sent it off to voiceart.com, and that is hanging up in my home. It's very cool.
It's super cool. I've seen that before when I've done video with him.
Yes.
It's a super cool backdrop. I love that. What are your plans?
So it's the next chapter of life, Hoch. My wife and I recently became grandparents for the first time. Our kids live all around the country. They're very successful. South Florida is not in the cards. So we're going to go and visit them a lot more, see our grandson a lot more. And as I like to tell people, after 35 years, I'm ready to do what I want to do when I want to do it, not when the schedule says I can or can't do it. So
when you're going somewhere with your wife, do you ever drop a dos minutos when it's like 2 minutes till you have to leave?
I'll be very honest about that. Do I? No. Does she? Yes.
Yeah.
She is a huge fan, and she will drop a dos minutos anywhere at any time for any reason.
How many like bar mitzvahs and weddings and stuff have you announced over the 35 years?
Hundreds. There have been so many, Hoch, and that little cottage industry started, once I had gained some reputation with the Heat. All of a sudden, people want me to introduce the bridal party like I introduced the starting five for the Heat, or the bar mitzvah boy, or the parents of the bar mitzvah boy. So hundreds of them. It's been something I never imagined in my wildest dreams. But boy, is it fun when you walk out in that reception and the first time they hear, "This is Michael Biamonte, the voice of your Miami Heat," and everybody's turning around. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! It's
you got one more. You got one more in you, Mike B, because I'm getting married next year. You got one more in you.
Solana, let's talk.
Did you ever think about this, Mike? I gotta ask. Did you ever think about you doing this? Like, what athletes, high school, college, professional? Did you ever think you were going to be what you've been? This is so cool to talk to you.
Crowder, I never thought it was going to be at this level. I mean, I starting at a pretty young age, teenager or whatever. I knew I really wanted to be a basketball announcer, and so I started doing it in high school. So it is something I knew I wanted to do, but did I ever think it would be to this level and to achieve some of the things I have? I mean, the NBA invited me to go to the All-Star game this year just so I could drop dos minutos in every quarter. I mean, that's just never in a million years would I have thought that. And again, growing up as a young kid, even in high school, there was no Miami Heat. So the NBA was a pipe dream because there was no team. I had no shot. How could I become an NBA announcer? Did I want to be? Yeah. Did I think I could be? No. And now look.
Man, Michael Biamonte, what fans we are of yours, and we wish you well in your retirement. And we thank you on behalf of all of Heat Nation, Mike.
Oh, guys, thank you so much. Hoch, you and I go back almost the entire 35 years, and I appreciate the friendship and everybody. Been so nice. You guys are awesome. Thanks for having me on, and to the Heat fans everywhere,
we applaud
thank
you
for everything.
We applaud you. You earned that one. 35 years.
Mike, turn around sometimes. I try to dap you up. You never turned around.
You know what?
It was locked in.
Crowder,
game time.
You and I will meet in the Hyde Lounge, or we'll meet in the Bacardi Lounge, or whatever, because I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I'll meet you there. We'll toast it up the right way. How's that?
I got you, brother.
He would have introduced you as Randolph Crowder, and he would have dared you to say anything about it.
Oh, that little table's not going to stop me from getting to him.
We'll see you, Mike.
Thank you, guys. Been a pleasure.
There you go. Sir. Legendary Michael Biamonte. We went way long. Let's break and try to figure out how we can get back on the clock. So we'll take a break. 3 o'clock hour is next.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
My metabolic age is 15.
Yeah, well, your metabolic IQ is 15 as well.
Hey, what's up, DC?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you hear me? You don't hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you don't hear me?
I can't hear you. Good, yeah.
Test, test, test. What about now?
Let me make sure these Bluetooth joints are connected. How about now?
Yeah, test. 1, 2. Test, test, test.
I see you. I don't hear you. But I guess you hear me, so I don't know what the hell is going on.
What about now? You hear me
I'm
now?
gonna log out and sign back in.
All right.
All right.
What's up, Donovan? You hear me now?
What's up? Yeah,
There
yeah.
we go. There we go.
There
There
we
we go.
go. I'm not the most tech savvy, but damn, I was like, God dang.
Nah, no worries, man.
Is the lighting is the lighting okay? I'll put a light ring on me.
Yeah,
Or is
yeah.
it backlit? All right, cool.
Yeah, I mean it's a little backlit, but I could see you. Maybe if you come a little bit closer, it'd be a little bit better. But I could see you well. We're in a commercial break right now. We still have one segment.
That's fine.
Yeah, we'll bring you up at like 3:25 ish, 3:30.
That's
But
fine.
yeah, if you want to hang out there, you can just listen to the show. No problem.
Yeah, I just didn't want to mess anything up. I know I'm not the most tech savvy, so I wanted to make sure I was on point for y'all boys. That's why I jumped on early.
Yeah, no, and it sounds great.
And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna put you behind the stage. You'll be able to hear us. Okay.
All right, cool.
Cool, man. Thank you, DC. Appreciate you, man.
No problem. My pleasure.
All right, we're starting the 3 o'clock hour a little bit late, but obviously we went long with Michael Biamonte there, and it was received with unbelievable praise everywhere. I got a direct message on Instagram. I always want a message about the show as a daily listener. That was one of the best segments with a guest. Mount Rushmore of interviews right there, my friend. Great job to all of you. Somebody else puts on our YouTube chat. Great interview. It's why we love the show, close and personal. Somebody says, going to rewatch the Mike B interview. The rest of this show doesn't matter. Totally agree. And then there's some texts. That interview was so cool. Wow. Congratulations. What an amazing accomplishment from him. Thank you, sir. One of the best interviews by far. That was just fascinating. We probably could have talked to him for 3 or 4 hours, to be quite honest, because there's so much there. There's 35 years of memories for Heat fans.
Hoch, I laid up. We have less time to talk for another 15.
I know.
I was like, hey, I know we're against the clock, but I had so much to talk to Michael about.
It was really good. It was just fascinating because it's not, for those who are out of market, you may not feel that way about your public address announcer because many of them aren't there that long. But for Heat fans, it really is the end of an era. Solana was saying his brother was sad that Mike B's not going to be there. I mean, when you go to a Heat game, because I'm sure the next PA announcer isn't going to try to mimic what Mike B did, so you're going to have a completely different style of public address announcer. But what he did for 35 seasons was just remarkable.
I wasn't proud of it, but I've draped Nick Nurse, Mike Biamonte before. And he didn't turn around. He just kept doing his job. But I rubbed his shoulders when I walked past him.
I mean, you got to do your job, man. Got to do your job.
Aren't you Mr. Don't touch people? Don't put your hands on people.
What are you doing? Keep your hands off Mike B.
I know, but that's Mike B. And I heard him for a decade. And I had to rub his shoulder. And he didn't flinch.
Longer than a decade, man. All right, let's do headlines because Donovan Campbell's going to join us this hour, and we're already running late. But Donovan Campbell was at New Stadium on Saturday for the opening of Inter Miami, so I want to get his thoughts. I want to see what he thought of a brand new stadium in Miami. Ended up at a draw on Saturday night. Did you watch it, Crowder? Were you around?
No, I was running.
Do you know where to watch it?
Peacock.
That's right. You nailed it again. Apple TV. You were very close. Anyway. All right, let's do headlines here for the 3 o'clock hour. Brought to you by Doral Hyundai. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. Visit them at Doral Hyundai or DoralHyundai.com.
Just a ton of basketball news. We mentioned in the first hour of the show that Mike Malone, the former Denver Nuggets head coach, he has been hired reportedly by the University of North Carolina. The Tar Heels, UNC, is hiring Mike Malone. They fired their coach after another first-round exit. And how about this, Hoch? Major news from your Chicago Bulls, who announced 30 minutes ago that they're firing their VP of basketball operations, Arturas Karnisovas, and their general manager, Mark Eversley.
Yeah, it's way too long. That team is an abomination. And this couldn't come soon enough.
Keeping Billy D?
I can't imagine he's going to be there next season.
I was going to say, if you're going to sweep it like that,
I
think
they're
love
just
Billy
letting him coach out the string,
okay.
And then I think that's going to be the end of Billy Donovan. Speaking of Billy D, because you mentioned Billy D, I saw on the birthday list today, Billy D. Williams is 89 today. Billy D. Williams. I mean, one of the best. I didn't realize he was still alive, but Billy D. Williams is the smoothest of the smooth.
I was going to say, Hawk, you don't want to be in a club with him on a Saturday night.
Oh, my God. Not only is he Mr. Steal Your Girl, you offer her up. You see Billy D. Williams, it's like, oh, you got to go with him.
No, you don't.
Yep.
We're married men, Hawk. Stop that.
Nope. Billy D. Williams, she goes with him. I go to a club with Lori. Billy D. Williams is there. I say, Lori, grab your stuff. You got to go home with him.
I'll see you in the morning.
I'll see you in the morning. You know Billy D. Williams, Solana?
Yeah, from Star Wars. That's how I know him.
Lando Calrissian. How'd you get so soft all of a sudden? Why is Solana so soft all of a sudden?
I know Jimmy told me my mic was too loud, so I lowered it a little bit, but
it was way too soft. Yeah, it was Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
But back when I was a kid, he was doing the Colt 45 commercials in the 70s.
Wow.
And they were bad ass.
Yeah. Smooth individual, Solana. You got to watch some stuff.
The smoothest.
A Colt 45 commercial is legendary, man. That's awesome.
Yo, those commercials, because they don't do them like that anymore. Those commercials were legendary. Young 9-year-old Mark Hochman couldn't wait to be 21 to drink a Colt 45, which is why they stopped doing those commercials.
Oh, you was at Highland Park drinking Colt 45s?
I was fantasizing about drinking Colt 45.
I was watching like some old school cigarette commercials on Instagram a couple weeks ago. Man, like I know back then people thought cigarettes were healthy for you, or they were advertising that they were healthy for you. I'm talking 30s, 40s, 50s. But yeah, I would have been ripping heaters nonstop back then too, man.
Like you'd see these old Johnny Carson, even before I was born. These old Johnny Carsons. First of all, they were smoking on the set while the show was going on, but it would be like they were like medicinal. Right. It'd be like, this half hour is sponsored by Marlboro, which is selected by 8 out of 10 doctors for, like, what?
Do you remember when it used to be doctors talking about the cigarettes? I remember, like, I was a young kid and there were doctors with the white on and the little thing, and they were talking about how cigarettes are great for you.
This one, they wouldn't say it was great for you. It would be more like, this is the cleanest brand for, like, they wouldn't say it was healthy, but they go, this is the healthiest one. You go, oh, I want to make sure I smoke the healthy one.
Marlboro Red, unfiltered, with the horse and the cowboy.
Man.
Yeah,
the horse was smoking one.
Let's go back to that era, man. Just like, why
You
not?
need a horse around.
Yeah, why not?
I believe in science.
Unpasteurized milk. Let's go.
Hey, tonight's the NCAA tournament final. UConn plays Michigan. I saw Michigan is a pretty sizable favorite, six and a half, 7, depending on where you look.
I think I'm betting Michigan. I think I'm going to lay the points.
I bet with Dawn Staley. She let me down.
She did.
They lost by 40.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
It was an ass kicking.
Yeah.
An ass kicking.
Hawk, they wore their ass out, Hawk. I watched it with my whole family, and everybody knew I gamble. And my daughter was like, Daddy, so you bet on South Carolina, right? Go to your
bedroom.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, it's nothing worse than when they're like kind of making fun of you for a terrible bet.
What'd you guys think of Friday night's big story from the NCAA tournament women's Final Four? UConn gets their ass kicked by Dawn Staley, and Gino Auriemma, UConn's head coach, during the handshake after the game at half court, there's actually a 10th of a second left, which made the whole thing funny. He's like ripping Dawn Staley, and they exchange words.
Did you see his in-game interview as well?
Yeah, he was upset about his player having her jersey ripped, but then there's video of the player herself ripping the jersey, and he kind of slighted Dawn Staley at that point also for telling her players to be aggressive towards his players.
I like it.
I love it. I don't like it, Hawk. I love it. And seeing that Gino got that emotional about it, where you saw my daughter plays female basketball, and I was telling her there's two styles. Gino plays the beautiful art of basketball, and Dawn had her girls play aggressive, and you saw that they came out on top. That's why Gino was so upset, because she recruits differently than Gino recruits, and that's why they won. And now UCLA was just more talented. That damn, what's that big girl's name? She's 6'7", the one that couldn't breathe.
on UCLA, Lauren Betts.
Bro, they have a girl that's 6'7". Don't go in the paint. Like, I love the storyline, but Gino got very petty with that whole situation. And it's funny to me because if you have me an over-under on Dawn Staley beating up Gino Auriemma, I got Dawn Staley winning that fight. She's a -300.
You see,
yeah, I would think her.
There was somebody filming from the sideline after the whole thing. They were trying to hold Don Staley back. She's like, I'm going to kick Gino's ass. I'm going to kick Gino's ass. I was like, damn, bro. Like, she's ready to go.
But I like that when you have a changing of the guard as well, when you've got, the standard bearer, and then all of a sudden someone going, yeah, okay, but now I'm going to kick his ass. Like, it's a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
And Gino couldn't deal with it. Gino can't deal with having that person right behind him.
Yeah. It was cool. I thought the whole thing was. I thought the whole thing was good for the sport, to be quite honest, because there was real good drama there.
He got his ass kicked, and he was salty, and then he made up that thing like, "Oh, I waited 3 minutes for the handshake." Like, okay,
but he was saying that she didn't shake his hand before the game, but there's video of her shaking his hand before the game.
Right, but then he switched it up, and he said, those of you who are around the NCAA tournament, you meet the right before the game starts, you meet the other coach at halftime. And then he's like, I had to wait there 3 minutes for her to come over. So he just sounded like a big fat sore loser. He got his ass kicked, and he was upset. And he sounded like it, but he came off looking kind of bad, very bad.
We've talked about the unwritten rules before. I don't like unwritten rules. Write the rules. We have to talk. We talk. If we don't have to talk, we don't need to talk. Unwritten rules of sports is silly.
The Marlins, they play the Reds tonight at 6:40. That'll be on FM 104.3.
Yeah.
And the Miami Heat, they do play tomorrow. They'll play the Toronto Raptors twice, tomorrow and on Tuesday. There's 4 games remaining, 3 straight on the road, 2 in Toronto, our friends to the north. Your weather in South Florida right now, it is 83 degrees. Tonight, the lows are going to drop into the mid to upper 70s. This weather report was brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping keep your home and family safe when the storms roll in. Visit tornadoroofing.com for your free roof and window estimate.
All right, we're going to talk with Donovan Campbell in the next segment. Want to hear about his experience at New Stadium. Did your brother go to the game, Solana?
Nope, we did not. Nobody in my family went.
All right, well, we'll talk with Donovan Campbell, see what his observations were from game number 1 at New Stadium, so do not go anywhere.
We all know anniversaries are amazing, but a lot of people can't say 80 years. It's an 80-year anniversary in business for Ed Morris. They're celebrating, and they're going to watch out for you like they watch out for all of us. They watch out for my family. Y'all know my entire driveway is backed by Morris. Ed Morris Cadillac. They are commemorating the occasion by giving you special savings on Cadillac luxury. I'm enjoying it. My wife has an IQ. She loves her Cadillac, and you got to look into these the electric Cadillacs. The EVs, they're special. Right now, the all-electric 2026 Cadillac Optic, you can get in that beautiful vehicle for just $349 a month, and the all-electric 2025 Cadillac Lyrics, the bigger truck, for just $369 a month. You got to check them out. They have been family-owned and operated for 80 years, so they know how to take care of their customers. That's all Ed Morris talks about. Backed by Morris is that they know how to connect. They know how to watch out for you, and I am a recipient of that wonderful service. You have to be backed by Morris. So for the 80th year anniversary savings, go see my friends at Ed Morris. Teddy Morris, he's the owner. He has the commercials. Y'all seen Teddy. Chris Atkins, the GM. He's an amazing person. They put together a great team.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
I have this fantasy. I've had this for years, of becoming obese and bedridden and just watching TV all day and having people bring me food.
Crowder has no idea. His mic disconnected, and your mic disconnected, bro. I'm sorry. Your mic disconnected, so we had to send it a break. Yeah, you probably unplugged it. But way to finish strong there, bro. Way to finish strong. Uh-oh. I think your headphones are disconnected, bro. I think you knocked out your headphones. That's what happened. Yeah. You got me now? Do you hear me? Crowder. No.
Hello?
Yeah, do you hear me?
I can hear you. It went out?
Yeah, you can hear me?
I can hear you now, but you're off.
Oh, okay.
You're offset though.
What do you mean I'm offset?
Like it's delayed. Should I reboot whatever that shit's called? Oh.
Yeah, it's all right. Just leave and come back in. I just think you knocked your headphones on and it just kind of lagged a little bit.
Hold on.
Hey, what about now? You hear me okay?
Yeah, you're right on now.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, I think what happened was you kind of hit your headphones and it might have unplugged a little bit, so that it mutes your mic, and it probably just got a little laggy. No worries.
Okay.
You were pretty much almost done, but you had no idea. Jimmy went to break and everything. You had no idea.
Good job, Jimmy.
Hey, what's up, DC?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
See the little behind the scenes.
He in that big ass backyard.
It ain't as big as yours, but it's all right.
I done been over there. He in that big ass backyard.
I figured I need a quiet place. Kingston's at the crib, and I don't want to hear his phone conversations on the video game, so I had to come outside.
You good, bro?
I can't complain. How about yourself?
Man, same old. Riding these kids up to Tampa and back.
Okay, so are they going to IMG?
Yeah, Ava.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I figured that. Oh, wow. How y'all do that, man? I couldn't do it.
Man, it's 3 hours both ways. So some weekends we gotta go Friday, ride up. I'll do the radio show from IMG, and then drive back after whatever 6:15, 6:30, and drive back at home at 9. And then Sunday drive them back up to get there before 10, and then me and Asia drive back.
They like it though. They're enjoying it.
They do. They're getting better.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta watch Ava play basketball now.
Oh, something serious, huh?
Yeah, she'll give you 15.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
No matter what, she'll give you 15. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So you think it was very beneficial for her to make that trip up there? She's gotten that much better. Okay, good for her.
Just a reminder. Our streamers can't see this. Not that. Yeah, just a reminder. I don't want any.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So everything's right there.
That's awesome.
So they train in the morning, they go to school like from 1 to 5, and then they go train at night. So it's equal. It's like 5 hours of training, 5 hours of school.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that training, but I think I just miss my babies. I don't know if I could do it.
Man, that's why Asia has me drive up.
I'm sure. That's her mom.
Yeah.
Come on, man. No way.
But it's worth it. It really is. It's fun.
No, that's good though. As long as they're enjoying it, that's all that matters. Because everything we do is for them.
Yeah.
Busting that tail at work, working overtime, taking this hustle, that hustle, everything is for them.
And so Sunday, they came down for Easter. So Sunday morning we went up to Miami-Dade College and hit with the North Barrow prep team. And he was hitting with all the the North Barrow prep guys.
Right.
And they kind of looked over there like, what grade are you in? He was like 8th. And they were like, you're in 8th grade? And he was like, yeah, he's back there hitting the wall just like they hitting the wall.
Oh, wow. Oh, good for him.
Yeah. So he's raking now. But man, if you play, think about it, you play baseball 6 hours a day.
Hey man, you can't do nothing but get better.
Anything what they say, Denzel, they don't like when I talk about Denzel. But anything you practice at, you'll get better.
Well, indeed.
Yeah. And so you can see it. Well, both of their games, you can see it.
That's good, man. Please tell them I said what's up.
Yeah. How your baby doing?
They good, man. Kingsley's killing it, man. She's above and beyond. Like, I don't know, for a 9-year-old, I don't think there's a 9-year-old in South Florida that can mess with her in softball, period. That's she's like that.
A batter?
Yeah. Batting, fielding, throwing, you name it.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Strong arm. She's definitely a 5'2" player at 9 years old. Playing against 10, 11, 12-year-olds, hanging like no problem.
That's what we're struggling with Chan. Do we put him in high school to play against the big boys yet because he's only 14. And so that's what we're dealing with right now.
I mean, let him be the dude.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be all chummy with Donovan after you shadow banned him from the show for the last year.
I know, bro. I was on punishment, man.
Yeah, Crowder shadow banned you.
Yeah, I hear everybody else in the market. I'm like, man, dang, I can't even get no love no more. Jeez.
It tells you a little something about Crowder, you know what I'm saying?
I guess now Mike Cunha is a main anchor. He get all the burn. I mean, Clay ain't even a main anchor. He get burned. I'm like, golly.
They've been trying to get me off for years.
Oh, man, I thought Hoch was down with the Brown, man. What's going on, Hoch?
I was, but I can't stand in the way of Crowder. It gets intimidating.
They only let one of us talk at a time.
They were gonna bring the NAACP after us.
Hey, we're coming back right now, okay? Donovan, just stand by for a second.
No worries.
Hold on.
All right, Donovan Campbell is going to join us on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Somebody watching the video feed says, looks like Jake from State Farm.
Jake don't have this kind of tint, you know.
That's true.
He's Channing complexion. Yeah,
he's got the red WSVN7 shirt on. He's looking good. Donovan Campbell, you see him, sports anchor and reporter at WSVN7 here in Miami. He was at the grand opening of Inter Miami's new stadium, which is NU Stadium. What is that, Solana? It's a Brazilian bank new? Is that what I saw?
Yeah.
Brazilian bank. New stadium. That was Saturday. So what were your thoughts, Donovan? What did you experienced the stadium? You saw the people trying to get in, get out, get in lines for food. You saw what the pitch looked like. Like, what were your observations?
I saw a little bit of everything. I think it was a little disheartening. I'm not a beer drinker, but I heard there were $19 beers. I mean, somebody's got to pay for
I did see that on social media. That's heady.
Yeah,
that's a can. One can.
Yeah. So a lot of people are upset. $19 for a can of beer. But it was a beautiful stadium. And like I told everybody, anything new, no pun intended, it's going to be pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's a state-of-the-art stadium. Everything looks nice. The only bad thing, a lot of construction still going on around the area. And for the first game, media had to take a nice little mile walk just to get to from the parking garage to the field and whatnot. So that was a little tough. But outside, that was great. The highlight of the night, I can honestly say, bucked into Jorge Mas on the elevator. Coolest guy for a millionaire. I was like, man, this cat's really cool. I mean, he kind of was admiring my attire. You know, I had to represent. I wore my pink and black just as well. And so we just was chopping it up. But, you know, for a guy of his stature, you know, not walking with no big time security, him and his brother, I thought that was pretty cool. You know, so that was kind of cool.
I think you're selling him short as a millionaire, though. I think that's
billionaire.
Might be a B, DC.
Yeah. My mistake. Trust me, billionaire. Even makes it even more cool, to be honest with you, being a billionaire. You're right.
Yeah, and everybody appreciate your attire, so I don't know why you're still surprised. But I asked Will. Will was there. Will Manso was there leading up to the game. And, like, do you see the potential of it? So they might have done it too early or, you know, saying, like, the time didn't set up. But do you see the potential? Do you see the storefronts? Do you see the restaurant opportunities where you're not just going to watch a soccer game, you're going to enjoy the entire day or night?
Of course. I mean, anybody know anything about South Florida, especially Miami, you want that experience. And I think that's why sometimes we struggle to get fans at certain things. But like any place else, everyone loves a winner. They're winning. So people are going to come. When the Miami Heat are winning, people come. When the Marlins decide they want to win again, they're doing well right now, people are going to come. So I feel like if you put all the storefronts and make it like a scene and an event, then I think it's going to be amazing for everybody to experience.
What was the atmosphere like? Because while, yes, Miami's a scene town, Donovan, and you're right, the first game tickets were expensive, and mostly the people who can afford that aren't like the most hardcore fans. But Inter Miami built that stadium trying to make it an elite soccer atmosphere, kind of like a South American soccer atmosphere. What was that atmosphere like during the game?
Well, I mean, once you have La Familia in the building, you know it's going to be like a South American atmosphere, and you had that. I don't think there was an empty seat in the house. Obviously, the newness of it, once again, no pun intended, but the atmosphere was there. You had tons of fans. Obviously, it's soccer, so you're going to have tons of Latin women. So everybody can appreciate all that. And being in South Florida, they're going to come. Like I said, I thought the atmosphere was great, but it still didn't quite top World Baseball Classic. That atmosphere was a whole nother animal. So if it can even get close to that, we're in business for sure.
I got to actually write myself a note. Latin women soccer.
Hawk, what did we go to, Hawk, a couple years ago?
We went to the World Baseball Classic. But I think it was like Venezuela and Colombia. Like it was ridiculous.
I don't know the score, DC, but I know I had a good time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
What was it? Because you've said a couple times, new stadium. Obviously, when a new stadium is going to be built, it's going to be fun to see. Did it seem to you like state of the art, where you're like, hey, you got to go check out this stadium? Like I haven't seen anything like, because people have said that about where the in LA and Vegas the new NFL stadiums was it SoFi, I think.
Yeah, SoFi is amazing.
In LA. Now, granted, I think SoFi was like a $4 billion stadium, and I think this is like a $1 billion stadium. So I don't think it's probably apples to apples there. But did you walk through it and say, wow, this really is like a spectacle?
I mean, to be honest with you, there were a lot of restrictions. They wanted the media to stay a certain, almost like a single file line, like we're still in elementary school type of thing. So they walked us to the ribbon cutting, and they walked us back around to where they wanted us to be in the media area. And then we all had to set up for live shots and whatnot. I think they're a little lenient regarding the live shots, but I'm sure that'll be condensed soon as well. I noticed that, like in Disney World where you get your cup and it's like, it's a sensor. It looks like something like that was there, because I don't think it was just a automatic free refill. So I'm sure there was a sensor on that, but I didn't get a chance to do that. We're media folks, man. We get spoiled. So we had free food upstairs. We had our sandwiches and whatnot. So I didn't get to see all that.
Do you eat? Because Cunio, very good shape, but he doesn't eat. You're in very good shape, but I don't feel like you're as cautious as Cunio.
That's my boy, but his dietary restrictions are a little bit different than mine. I'm a little bit older than Mike, so I try to stay away from the fried foods like him. Things I love, though. Don't get me wrong. I love a good pizza. I love French fries, but I try, getting a little bit older, trying to be a little bit more health conscious. But hey, when you're hungry, I'm gonna eat. Cunio sit there and eat like a piece of lettuce or something. I'm gonna eat.
Because Cunio goes to a sporting event, the Heat and the Marlins games. He drinks 1 cup of black coffee. I'm not even joking. It could be 100 degrees at Lone Depot Park. He will drink 1 cup of black coffee. That's it. If you're at a ballpark or a soccer match, you're not. Just lost out. Oh, there's back. If you're at a soccer match, you're not just gonna drink a cup of coffee, are you? We lost DC.
Yeah. Try to reconnect DC if you can. I bet you somebody called him.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I bet you that's exactly what happened.
Try to get it reconnected here.
I was going to ask him, do they does a producer or somebody tell them like, hey, you're getting heavy, you need to lose weight again? Like, do they regulate their weight?
Yeah, but I think Donovan is like
I'm
on
back.
top of that himself. That's all right. Somebody called through. Was it Cunio? Cunio tried to knock you off the air.
Nah, man. You sign up for DirecTV and they're just bugging me to get the service going. I'm like, guys, come on, man. I'll do it when I'm ready. Leave me alone. You guys already started billing me.
DC, get Starlink.
Say less. I'm gonna get rid of it tomorrow.
Starlink, man. I have internet everywhere. The whole neighborhood has my internet. I have a satellite. Yeah. It is. Would they say something to you, DC, if you start getting fat with the station?
I'm gonna be honest. It wouldn't matter because I wouldn't let myself get fat. I would tell you guys I never want to be a dad bod. I want to be a father figure. I always say that, and I refuse to get fat. If I even see a little pooch haul coming, your boy hitting the cardio real quick.
But did you see the food lines at New Stadium on Saturday?
They were ridiculous. The line though that was the most ridiculous was the pro shop. That thing was wrapped around, no joke, at least 200 deep to get inside because they were doing it by like Yes, just to get in.
And
that was crazy.
Did you walk into that store though? Someone told us it's 2 stories and and really well done. Was it Manso who told us that on Friday? I think that it was.
I didn't, but my photographer did. I could see that it was very nice, and they did not want too many people in there. Maybe this is South Florida. I don't know. They were probably worried about some sticky fingers. I don't know, but yeah, I didn't walk in there, but it was nice though from the outside.
But the lines everywhere around the stadium were long, though, and I'm not throwing shade because it's good. The kinks will work themselves out, and I know not all the concession stands were open and whatnot, but were there like real long lines everywhere?
Very long lines. I mean, you could still smell the paint around. There's so much construction going on still. I'm sure they didn't want us to see all that, but they promised that we're going to get that game, and they made sure it happened. Whatever permits they had to get for that specific game. They made sure they got them, and they wanted to play some soccer.
But and getting into the stadium, Donovan, because I did see that while everybody expected traffic to be a little nutty, obviously, that getting into the stadium, it was a little chaotic also, just because I don't know if it was the fact that it was the first game, which I'm sure mattered, or they just didn't have the right amount of staff to actually get people into the stadium. I don't know if you saw like long lines to get in.
The lines were ridiculous. They warned the media to get there super early. My photographer, Peter Hoffman, came to pick me up from my house like at 1 o'clock, 12:30, because we wanted to get there just to beat some of the traffic. They told us to get there early. That was very long to get inside, though. The media credentials to get our bags checked, that probably took another 45 minutes, which is never that long. So even for us media members, it took quite some time for us to get in there. So there was no VIP access for no one. So I should have told him my name was Channing Crowder. Then I might have been taken care of a lot quicker.
Your ass would have been back on the turnpike. DC, I asked, it's a simple question, but is this going to work? Do you believe this is going to work?
I think they put way too much into it. I heard people saying that, once Messi's gone, the mess will probably start happening. But I think the Moss brothers, as well as Beckham, they know what they have. This is something that they wanted to for a long time. And they saw what happened with the Marlins. Marlins got their stadium and then things kind of went womp, womp, womp. And I doubt they want to make that same mistake. So I think it better work. Not matter. I think they better make it work because they don't want this city to go in an uproar.
What was the crowd energy like? Was it? I watched it on Apple TV and I thought it looked great. I was I had like a little bit of jealousy that I didn't end up going, but I felt like it was worthy of this opener. I think back to when Lone Depot Park opened and it was called Marlins Park back then, and I went to that and I thought it lacked some energy. And if you remember that opening game, I think they were hitless through 5 or 6 innings or whatever, but there was like this weird vibe when the baseball park opened. What I watched on Apple TV on Saturday night, it felt like it was perfect. Did it feel that way?
I think there was a buzz from the time everyone walked into that stadium, and then culminating by who else? Messi, the GOAT, scoring a goal. I mean, I don't know if it was set up that way or what, but come on. Messi scoring Inter Miami's first goal, because I want to say Austin FC scored the first goal in the stadium, and then Messi comes back and scores, and then Suarez scores the second. It's just like, it was like poetic justice almost for everything that they've gone through for this to finally happen, and then Messi's the one that scores the goal. That was just crazy in my opinion. That buzz was there for sure. Very World Baseball Classic-esque.
Yeah, I wonder, do you think they'll be able to keep that up, Solana, where it'll have that, I guess, as long as Messi's on the team, that's going to exist.
Yeah, I mean, with Messi for sure, because people are going to buy tickets to go watch Messi no matter what. But even after Messi, what I think is different about this than Lone Depot Park, Marlins Park, is that they're building stuff around it. They're building a community around it. They're going to bring the Inter Miami.
Although they did say that about Marlins Park. Remember, there were all those storefronts. There was supposed to be retail and restaurants, and the only thing that was there was Bowl Bar.
That's true. Bull Bar is getting changed to like a coffee shop or something. I read that the other day. But yeah, I think that's going to be different because they're going to have the club soccer all around. So there's going to be a local soccer influence all around that stadium, and then they're going to have shopping centers. Like it's going to be different.
Supposed to be hotels and everything. Like right. I mean, a huge, almost like. Where was it? Did you go to that baseball game in Cincinnati where the whole riverfront is just built around it?
Cincinnati Reds opening day was crazy. Right. They shut down cities, but even like I'll play the Patriots with one Patriot play. The little bars and all that stuff around the Patriot Stadium where Tom Brady leaves, but they still have to be good. So Donovan got hit on the head where if you're winning, you're going to have people there. If you're the worst team in the league, like you still have to fuel that fan base. That's Miami, what I think you got to fuel as a fan base.
But I think that's any city. I think that's any city. I think Miami gets an unfair rap with that. Like, honestly, if you think, like when I was young and the Cubs stunk, like Wrigley Field was half empty during games. Like, people don't want to go support teams that stink. I don't care what city you're in.
I'll tell you what, all they need to do is put a Club Live over there and have that popping again, like, then they'll be winning every game.
I'm sure they will.
Hey, DC, they get on me when I go to the Heat games. I don't even have a seat. I just stay in the Grey Goose Lounge and hide.
Trying to tell them.
Well, not all of us own pink and black suits and walk in, and the music stops when we walk into Club Live. So
you can though. The amount of money you guys make, you can.
Different experiences. He's talking to you, Crowder. He's not talking
to you, Hawk. Big Bang Hawk.
He's not talking to me. So you give it what? 1 out of 10. New stadium gets 1 out of 10 what from Donovan Campbell?
Nothing's ever perfect until it is perfect. I'll give it a nice 8.5. With a strong 8.5.
That's not bad for a debut.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Like, what would you give Hard Rock Stadium 1 out of 10?
Hard Rock Stadium? Who's playing? It depends. I mean, there's some
Let's
games
say the Hurricane.
Like
Malik Willis.
If the Hurricanes are playing, but see, they don't open live for the Hurricane games nor that club.
True.
Yeah, just me being a Canes fan, I can't hate. I'll give them like a 7 just because. But
interesting.
This past season was definitely a 7 for sure. Years past, the vibe wasn't there. This year there was a vibe for sure. That team was good.
When did they play again, Solana? Do you know?
Inter Miami
at New Stadium.
At New Stadium. I don't think they do this weekend. I believe it's
they're on the road this weekend.
Late April. They're back at the stadium April 25th, hosting New England.
All right.
They're actually home. They are home this weekend against New York Red Bulls.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh,
yo, Jimmy's right. New York Red Bulls. He's right. April 11th.
There you go.
All right. I wonder what the ticket demand is for that.
Double check.
See what the ticket demand is for that. All right,
Donovan. So you guys not gonna have the big show out there? Y'all not gonna have the big show out there or something? What's going on?
I mean, we got a lot of things on our plate.
Yeah, weekends off. I know.
What are you doing there? You got a gazebo in the backyard?
Yeah, something like that. What's that drink that you like? That spritz or whatever you're always talking about?
Aperol spritz. You sitting outside drinking an Aperol spritz in the gazebo?
Never.
Hey, Hawk. I'm blessed to say I've been in Donovan's backyard. It's no slouch.
Yeah, I can tell a guy like him, man.
Gazebo behind the house. Then it has the grill on one side.
How long you been on SBN now?
Yeah.
19 years, Hawk. 19 years.
19 years.
Man. January 2007.
The Campbells live well. That's how I put it.
Tell anybody that's got a gazebo, and I can see it's got the wire lights around it. That thing looks nice at night.
My wife did that. It came with the house. The gazebo came with the house.
I'm not so certain, man. Solana says tickets on StubHub pretty decent. Lower bowl as low as $145, $98 get-in price. So. All right, so if you want to check out the new home of Inter Miami, new stadium, what'd you say, it was this Saturday, Solana?
Yeah, 7:30 this Saturday. They host the New York Red Bulls.
All right, I'll let you get back to your Aperol Spritz, Donovan. Oh, there you go. DirecTV's calling him again, so it doesn't matter anyway. Donovan Campbell from WSVN 7. 4 o'clock hours coming up. Everyone is invited to the Hard Rock Bet Party. It doesn't matter who you are. Your name is on the list. Sign up today. Double your winnings on your first 10 bets. Max $50, but that's right. You can double your winnings on your first 10 bets. Just download the Hard Rock Bet app, make your first deposit, and get the party started today. On Hard Rock Bet, the double your winnings welcome offer is just the start. You also get new promos every day of the week. Just open the app right now to see what you've got today. The dance ends tonight. One team cuts down the nets. Before they do, Put on your dancing boots, hit the hardwood with a live profit boost and parlay profit boost on Hard Rock Bet. Shoot your shot and let the national championship pay off tonight. The biggest golf tournament of the year tees off in Augusta this weekend. Whether you just want to pick a winner to slip on the jacket or live bet the action hole by hole, swing for the green on Hard Rock Bet. Also, the 327 fights go down in Miami Saturday with 2 title fights ready to headline an epic night. Step into the cage, make your picks hit harder with boosted odds on Hard Rock Bet. And if you're late to place your bets, don't worry. Hard Rock Bet has live betting for practically any sports, any game, any time. Plus, for select games, you'll even be able to watch the action through their in-app live streams. It all starts with you downloading the Hard Rock Bet app right now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
I'd like to officially go on record. I am wearing underwear today.
PM and we back on the clock, so don't get cutesy. Dog lead the station unlocked. We got the sports talk and the drama to make sure the T-clock. WQAM is the Avengers with no weak spot. For Joe Rose, Woody Bo, Omar and more, Tobin and Leroy giving goosies galore. Yeah, for 2 to 6 is reserved for 3 legends. The captains of America, not no Chris Evans. For Spritz to McRibs and calling out game scores. Hotman, Crowder, Solana, get ready for some more.
All right, here we go. 4 o'clock hour on Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. That's Georgie does our theme songs. We're not going to have time to debut the 5 p.m. Georgie song today because I want to be able to replay Mike Biamonte from earlier in the show. It was one of the most universally beloved interviews we've ever done, just based on the instant feedback from Instagram, Twitter, and text, and the YouTube chat. So that'll come up in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll start the 4 o'clock hour here with the stock market report that is sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE, 1-800-747-3733. Another green day on Wall Street. That's 4 in a row. Dow Jones up 165 points, S&P 500 up 29 points, and the NASDAQ up 0.5%, 117 points. So maybe we can get a little of it back that we had lost over the last 3-4 weeks.
I like it.
Inching back to it. I like it. 15 minutes of heat. And again, your real 15 minutes of heat is going to be in the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha happy hour when you hear Mike Biamonte, because Heat fans are going to love the 20 minutes we spent with Mike B earlier today. So we've got that coming up. 15 Minutes of Heat is brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. How about this for a positive spin on the Heat season from an emailer to Ira Winderman and the Sun Sentinel? All right? See if you buy this. And then I'll tell you what Ira Winderman responded. But see if you buy this. I have to say about the Miami Heat, they really have not slid backwards. If they win just 2 more of their final 4 games, they'll have a 43-win season, which is 6 games better than last year. So to me, that's improvement, especially with 2 of their young players really stepping up this year in Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Pelle Larsson. Do anything for you? If you have a better record than you did the previous season, that's improvement, no?
That's Spo being a great coach with less talent and beating teams he shouldn't beat and, losing the teams he shouldn't lose to. But Spo can coach. Spo can get a game plan together that can work. But 43 wins is not that impressive, Hawk.
Solana, do anything for you?
I will say this. Coming into the year, fans had their own expectations, but Coach Spo called this a developmental year. And when you look at the fact that Pelle Larsson has started the majority of the games this year, and he looks like a quality NBA player right now for the Miami Heat, that's fine. Roll your eyes. But, he's been really good as a second-round pick. He's a diamond in the rough.
Would he get any burn on OKC? Would he get any burn on
he's not
any other
Crowder,
quality team?
Listen to what I'm saying. He's not a superstar. I'm not saying Pelle Larsson is a difference between the Heat winning 43 games or winning 60 games. Don't get me wrong. But to win an NBA title, Oklahoma City, they have a guy like Alex Caruso, who's really important to their team. And Pelle Larsson has that type of upside. I'm not saying he's a superstar, but he's a quality, and he's looking like
you need pieces. You need You're not going to have a team of 5 superstars, so you need some pieces, guys who can carry their weight and do what's asked of them. He's done it this season.
As a second-round pick, too. You don't expect those guys to do anything. Jaime Jaquez Jr. this year went from last year looking like a bust in the first round or just like a whatever pick to all of a sudden revitalizing his career in his 3rd year. Might win 6th Man of the Year. Kel'el Ware, it's been rough at times, but he still has tremendous upside. So they've been winning games with their young guys that they drafted. Some people might call that successful, but ultimately, Hawk, they're the ones that told us throughout the year, don't want to be a playing tournament team. Don't want to be a playing tournament team. Those are their words. And not only are they going to be a play-in tournament team for the 4th straight year, they're the 10 seed. And at the most important part of the year, when Atlanta rattled off 17 of 18 wins after trading Trae Young and Charlotte turned their season around when they were a laughing stock, the Heat went 2-8 over a 10-game stretch that put them as the 10 seed in the Eastern Conference. To me, that is, without a doubt, a failure.
Well, this is what Ira Winderman responds in the Sun Sentinel. And in a normal season, your reasoning would be logical and cogent. But this was not a normal season, with 5 teams in the East ultimately playing for lottery balls and with 4 in the West ultimately doing the same. So that pumped up records in the middle of the East, essentially to the degree the emailer mentioned. Yes, wins matter, Ira says, and yes, a winning season matters. But all you needed to do was listen to the returning players to know that this season was all about, which is what Solana just said, finishing ahead of the play-in or bust. While there's still time for a top 6 seed, that remains highly unlikely. Thus, the thought of somewhat of a bust season. Additionally, much of last season's decline was attributed to the Jimmy Butler distraction. This season, no such distraction. So Ira's not buying it. And it was nice from the emailer to hear a positive spin on the season. But I'm with Solana on this one and Ira. They told you over and over again, we don't want to be a play-in team. That really was the goal. That was it. I mean, it was
Get to 6.
Seems like a pretty reachable goal. And again, they could still finish anywhere from 5 to 10. It's very unlikely that they're going to move much from where they are. They could ultimately achieve their goal, but they were really clear about it before the season, during the season, and after the All-Star break. Bam was adamant about it. I'm tired of this bleep, and it seems like they're going to fall short of that goal.
And they were in position for it. That's the worst part. Solana. They were in position. They had the 6th seed.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
You have a Hall of Fame coach. You don't have the guns to get to the 6th seed.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a roster. Well, you put on Riley, put on whoever you want to. We don't have the guns to be in the top 5.
I do think that the Heat have a roster that's good enough to be in as a 6th seed in the Eastern Conference.
Especially
I really
when you've got the number of teams tanking, as Ira points out. Like you're talking about how many teams are in the East?
15.
15. 5 of them are actively tanking. So now you're talking about 10 teams that you're fighting to jockey 1 through 6. It's a smaller field, and they've just been unable to do so.
But I will say this, though, Hoch. The East this year is significantly better than it was a season ago. Like, significantly better. The
good teams are significantly better, but there's more teams actively trying to lose.
Yeah, I think there's...
that was Ira's point. You have 5 teams that are actively trying to lose, and so it inflates your wins when you're trying to win. It inflates your win total.
Yeah, Pistons, the Celtics, we know who's on top of the East.
But last year, the teams that were from 7 to 10 in that play-in tournament were not good teams. Like they just weren't. They were just whatever teams that lucked into the play-in tournament, like the Heat with 36, 37 wins. Like the Heat weren't a good team last year. This year, the Hornets, who are the 8th seed, are a good basketball team. The Sixers, who are the 6th seed, the Hawks, who are the 5th seed, the Raptors, who are the 7th seed. I'm not saying these are NBA title winners. They're not OKC, but they're quality teams with quality direction. They're building something meaningful in those places, and that's the frustrating part with the Heat. It's not just that, again, you're a play-in tournament team. There doesn't appear to be a concrete direction with this team other than Giannis or bust in the offseason, which has burned this organization several times. That, to me, is the more concerning part.
All right, let's do headlines here for the 4 o'clock hour with Solana, brought to you by Doral Hyundai. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. Visit them at Doral Hyundai or DoralHyundai.com.
Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. The Jalen Tatum we don't have that, Solana.
No, but I don't
right,
understand.
but nobody's arguing that.
How many times do we have to have this argument, Crowder?
So that's the thing is that we're not talented enough to be with those teams.
But being a top 3 seed is different than being a top 6 seed. The Heat are talented enough to be a top 6 seed in the East. Like, they're only 2 games out of the 6 seed.
Whose fault is that? Spo?
Tyler Hero needs to be on the court more. Norman Powell needs to be on the court more. Kel'el Ware needs to do more when he's got minutes on the court. Like, there's, I see. I'm kind of with Solana. They do have a roster that's top 6 in the East. Sure. They do.
For sure. Who?
For sure.
I just told you.
Norman Powell.
Yeah, he was an all-star.
But Norman Powell, Tyler, you can't put them against those rosters that are the top 3 in the East.
But we're not talking top 3. I keep saying top 6. I'm talking about just not being a play-in team. They have the roster to be not a play-in team.
So is it on injury or is it on Spo's coaching?
I just said Tyler needs to be out there more than he was out there this season. Norman Powell needs to be out there more than he was out there this season. Kel'el Ware needs to be playing at a level that gets him more minutes. But I would say a lot of it is injury-based. I think when you have Tyler and Norman missing the number of games that they missed, you're missing the core 3, unless you're calling Andrew Wiggins one of the core 3, but you're missing 2 key guys. Again, we're talking about a low barometer here of making the playoffs. Like, to be a top 6 team in the East is not the hardest thing in the world, but you put Tyler out there. I mean, you've seen what he's done sometimes when he's back. Like,
he can give you 25.
It's the difference between some wins and losses.
Crowder, this team is 2 games out of the 6 seed. They've lost several games. Sacramento Kings earlier in the year, who were trying to tank, 2 to the Indiana Pacers. They lost a home game to Utah. Just those games right there. That's 4 games that they should have won against teams that were tanking, that were not trying to win, that they blew. And by the way, the talent thing, to suggest the Heat aren't talented to be a top 6 seed, I'm with you at top 3. Name me a single player, and I'm not trying to dupe you here. I'm just trying to prove a point. Name me a single player on the Atlanta Hawks roster right now.
Ricochet.
Zachary Ricochet, who isn't starting for them. He's playing 8 minutes a game for the Atlanta Hawks right now. He's just like end of the bench guy for Atlanta.
No. But
they're the 5 seed in the East, and at the
your point.
After,
so
why
are we losing? Why are we behind? Why are we in the 9th and the 8th and the 10th?
Because
I think it's injury based.
I think it's that, and it's the fact that the guys out on the floor aren't winning games. Like, it's that simple, I mean,
but Crowder's point is, why aren't they winning games? Is it Spo's fault?
We have better talent than those teams. Why can't Spo coach them to wins? Hawk said it's injury, and I understand that. Tyler had 6 toes. I understand injury. I understand Norm has not been on the court. I understand that Spo doesn't want to play Ware. Why can we not beat those teams and have a better record than those teams? That's the question.
Yeah, it's fair. I think Hawk hit it on the head. Part of it is injury based, but the funny part is, Hawk, when Norm and Tyler have been together,
I know
the numbers
they don't
aren't
play
great.
well together.
Yeah,
and also, no matter how injured you are, like, you shouldn't go an entire season without being able to beat Orlando. And I don't care how much better they are than you. When you play a team that many times, you can't get swept for the season. You just can't. So, but I don't know if that's on Spo. I don't know what that is. I'd have to go back and look at the rosters that were available for all the Orlando games to see if there's an overarching reason.
They were all close games. Those were close games, and at the end, the Heat just didn't win them. But
I know what the answer is: Desmond Bain and Blanchard Ranchero.
No, but what I'm saying is, you can't. They're a better roster without question. There's no question. You can't lose to a division rival 5 times out of 5. You can't. They always say it in the NFL. Like, if you're going to play the same team twice and then maybe a third time, like, that's really tough to beat the same team 3 times in an NFL season. In the NBA, like, you can't get swept by a team in the East for the season.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's no definitive answer. Does Spo deserve a little bit of blame for I don't think that's a question, but it doesn't mean he's a bad coach or that
no, but he definitely gets some of the blame.
For sure. For sure. And you credit him for changing the offense and trying to do something, right? But it also came at a cost of Niko Jovic, who the Heat paid a lot of money to. He's a non-factor. Kel'el Ware as well. As much as I hate how Heat fans just think more Kel'el Ware automatically means more wins, I think it's just an easy thing to do. But clearly, like, he hasn't developed the way that the Heat front office wants him to. And on top of that, while the offense is leading the NBA in pace and they're going to end up with the second most points per game, look at what happened with the defense at the end of the year.
Yeah,
the defense over the past 12 games is the second worst in the NBA.
Solana, I
mean, that matters.
I love it because the Heat won. They beat the Wizards, but the Wizards had 136. The Celtics had 147 when they lost. Even with the Heat beat the 76ers, they had 109. The Pacers beat them with 135. The Cavs beat them with 149. What happened to Spo being a defensive coach?
That to me was the most shocking thing of the entire season is looking at the point totals that were put up on them this season.
Hoch, 149?
Yeah.
And by the way, I hope that's the way the NBA is going.
I could play the three.
The NBA is changing, and I hope it's changing that way. I want to see 150 points put up every night by teams all across the NBA. I'm all for it, but it was shocking to me. That's the number that shocks me the most.
But
me, you, Jimmy, and Solana, and Bam could give up 149.
The point total, though, is a bit deceiving because the Heat are playing at a faster pace. So they're taking more shots. So you're bound to give up more attempts and more points. What matters is the defensive rating, right? That's where you can properly factor in efficiency from the other team and how your defense should be rated. And that's been really bad. That to me is unacceptable. Fine. The Celtics dice you up one game, whatever, right? Cleveland doing it and over a 10-game sample size, the most important 10 games of the season, when you came in with the 6 seed, the Heat had won 7 straight games. It started with Orlando for the 5th time at the Kaseya Center, and over a 10-game stretch, you go 2-8 over that stretch. You drop down to the 10 seed, and you're averaging over 130 points per game against you. I don't know what changed, but everybody's to blame. Everybody.
But Solana, no. Because Wemby even said this when Wemby was making an argument for him being the MVP. I play on both sides of the court. At some point, you score. The other team gives it to the big guy, and he passes it to the point guard. On the other side of the court, and I don't know the efficiency and percentage rating and PERs and plus minuses. Solana, stop those guys from putting the bucket, getting a bucket. Stop them guys from putting that damn ball. What'd you say, Hawk?
In the net.
In the net?
Right through the net.
Why can't you stop them from putting it through the net? That's the thing that Spo always dwelled on.
I was watching Along Comes Polly.
Does he have enough to stop them
that Philip Seymour Hoffman scene? Because he goes, he's doing Rain Man, Rain Dance, Let It Rain, and then he yells swish. You ever yell out swish? And he airballs it. Swish. I love that scene.
And it banked off the back. That's a concern for me. So does Spo not know how to coach defensive basketball anymore? Or does he not have the guns to do it? I don't think he has the guns to do it.
I think it's so funny. Like, it starts on the text line. Spo must go. Spo doesn't know what he's doing anymore. The guy was just named the head coach of the U.S. men's national basketball team. Like, there's a reason for that. Yeah, Crowder, I think part of it's the roster's gone stale. But that's what Heat fans were saying a year ago. And then that's what we were talking about at the deadline, where my whole point was, hey, I love this roster. Like, I like the guys, right? But you're not going anywhere. We saw this team, so make some moves, get some draft capital, try to switch it up this summer. And they didn't do anything. They're the only team in the Eastern Conference that did not make a trade. The only team. And they're going to end up as a 10 seed, likely, and have to play
it goes back to what Crowder was asking. Who's to blame? And I said injuries. You're going to essentially blame personnel, which is fine. There's somewhere, everybody's got a little piece of it, right? There's going to be a piece that is devoted to injuries, a piece that's devoted to personnel, a piece that's devoted to unlucky, whatever. Things happen, but personnel is a major problem. It is. They've stuck with rosters to their detriment certainly the last 4 seasons of play-ins, but they've stuck with players to their detriment because they've been unable to land a whale. Doesn't mean that they're not trying. They've just been unable to do so.
But it's like not a surprise that I'm listening to Cool Down, whatever the hell the post-game thing's called that Solana does. You're trying to sell me on Nikola Jokic and Davion Mitchell. They're not all-stars.
Not Jokic this season.
But I'm not trying to sell you on them.
Lack of talent,
Those
Solana.
are the guys who are playing. Like, what do you want me to do? Rip the team after every loss? Like, it's easy to do that. But hey, yeah, Davion's got to play better. And Davion does have to be more consistent. If he's out there and he's going 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 5 from 3, yeah, he's got to be better. Defensively, he's a major part of the defense. He's got to be better. What do you want me to do? Say Davion stinks, get him out of Miami? Like, that's not a good that's not what I'm going to do. You know?
Cool down.
Let's just cool it down, dude.
Cool it down. Cool down. Let it cool.
Hey, what'd you guys make of the Giannis? I sent you guys the article, the Giannis comments.
He gone
on Friday night. Well, even Doc Rivers is like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on here, but this can't be out in the public."
Yeah, he gone. And then I read something over the weekend that maybe Doc takes a front office job with Milwaukee so that they have a new head coach.
Doc fails upwards. It's unbelievable, this guy. He's still coach. He's in the Hall of Fame. He hasn't gotten out of the second round since the 2009 Celtics team that lost in the finals to Kobe. Doesn't matter. He gets a job everywhere. I don't understand what's going on.
It was
with
so
Doc
good in Uncut Gems.
This is an argument. When I saw the article you sent, this is an argument that y'all had. Giannis is trying so hard to do this nicely. He's trying, but Hawk said he doesn't want to be the bad guy. He is upset, and he's trying so hard to not upset Milwaukee fans, but he needs to get the hell out of Milwaukee.
But wait a second. It's not that he's trying. Like, imagine if you're Giannis. I want to play. I want to play basketball for this team that I've given my career to. Like, that's not someone trying. Like, that's someone doing something that we've all asked players in the NBA to do all season long, which is play. Get out there and play. And Giannis has got to be beside himself going, yeah, we're not in the playoffs. I want to be out there playing.
On the surface, yes. On the surface.
But here's what happens every time with Giannis. You don't believe him. Because
Hawk,
for whatever reason, you decide whatever he says and whatever he does, you decide it's not truthful.
Okay, but let me tell you why on the surface.
Okay.
Giannis is trying to look like the good guy. Hey, I want to play ball. You guys are all upset about teams tanking. I want to play ball. Well, hold on a second. What is he most upset about? That the Bucks haven't put enough talent around him, right? The Bucks are eliminated from postseason contention because he was unavailable for a lot of the season.
He was hurt.
Because of injury. He was hurt. Now they're trying to set themselves up to better their draft pick and not win meaningless games, which would help put a better roster around Giannis Antetokounmpo.
But wait a second. We can't crush Utah for pulling players in the fourth quarter to set themselves up for a better pick. And when Giannis says, hey, I want to be out there playing, we crush him for doing the other thing. Like, that's nonsense. Just look at it in a vacuum with blinders on. You have a player who wants to play. That's not a bad trait.
He only wants to play, Hawk. He only wants to play because he wants to play with his brother, who they signed to satiate his constant need to have family around.
Is it possible he wants to play because he wants to be out there playing and he's healthy and he enjoys playing basketball?
And just being the judge of it, Solana, you said he only wants to play because, to Hawk's point, how do you know he only wants to play with his brother? You're making that up.
No, I'm not. He said it. He said, everybody's saying I don't want to play. I want to play with my brother. They just signed him. If you don't think I want to go out there and play with my brother on the basketball court, you're crazy. Those are his words.
Right, but what's wrong? But what's wrong with that? And that's nothing. That he's not saying the only reason I want to play.
That's why he wants to play.
No. You are picking and choosing because for whatever reason you love this narrative that whatever Giannis says, he really means the opposite.
So
you're building narratives.
I'm not building narratives,
Solana.
It's so obvious to anybody who actually is paying attention to this, which is why people, not just me, but people who are frustrated with Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's upset that the team hasn't put a good roster around him, that even though they've tried, the team hasn't. Right. And now they're trying with the draft coming up to better their situation via draft. They have a chance to better their lottery odds and get a top 5 pick by losing more games because their season is over. If he were to play, he hurts their chances at building a better roster. And he's crushing them publicly for it. Because he wants to play with his brother, which he admitted he wants to play with his brother. How could a player crush the front office publicly come out and crush the front office for not putting a better roster around him?
Because the only way that you can get better is if I don't play. Like, figure out a better system, front office. The only way you can get better is if I don't play. So, again, it's on my shoulders. Like, no, go do your jobs and get better players around me.
Both sides. There you go, Hawk. A basketball player that's the top 5 in the world wants to play basketball and also wants to play basketball with his brother. And you want to lose games because you can get a better draft pick. Why don't you figure out a way to put one of the top 5 basketball players in the world around talent that you can utilize Giannis Antetokounmpo and Salui Antetokounmpo? I don't know his brother's name. That's your fault.
They did.
He wants to play basketball, Solana. Let this man play basketball because we're going to complain if anybody else wants to take days off on back-to-backs.
First of all, I'm not complaining about the Utah Jazz and the other teams. I just want to make that clear.
Stop it, Jimmy. Go back to the games that Utah was pulling players in the fourth quarter and pull the sound of Solana and everyone on this show saying they're making a laughingstock of the league.
No, on the contrary, I was saying the NBA has an issue because fans are upset. But the reality is, if I'm the Utah Jazz or I'm the whatever teams are tanking, the Washington Wizards, and the only way a small market team can get better is through the draft, and these rules allow for it. These are the parameters set by the NBA. Why wouldn't I do my best to better my position through the draft? I totally understand it. Is it good for the game? Is it good for the consumer? No. Those are two different conversations. But I totally understand an organization within the rules, which is what they're doing, tanking. Because why wouldn't you tank if you have no chance of winning? Which is what the Utah Jazz and the teams at the very bottom are doing. And the rules are going to change because it totally waters down the product. But again, those are two different conversations. And yeah, I understand what you're saying. Go get me players. Well, guess what? They did. They got you Damian Lillard still in his prime. Did you win? No. 2 years. It was an unmitigated disaster. And then they went out and they tried to get you another big. Did you win? No. This team was terrible this year.
Who was the big they got, Solana?
Miles Turner. Who's
Miles Turner?
Well, yeah.
Why do you call out Giannis and not call out the Milwaukee Bucks organization for we're going to put you over the top of Miles Turner and baby tooth Chris Middleton?
You're telling me that getting Damian Lillard wasn't a good front office acquisition?
I'm not, and I know he had blood clots, whatever happened in his career.
3 years ago.
He tried and he couldn't play. But that's why do you attack Giannis and not the Milwaukee Bucks organization's the problem way over Giannis? I would love to have Giannis and Pat Riley.
It's so misaligned. The way you look at what Giannis does. So Giannis, I just want to make sure I have this right. Giannis is the bad guy because he wants to be out on the court playing for the Bucks and the fans, and he gets the added bonus of playing with his brothers.
Giannis is not the bad guy for wanting to play. Giannis is the bad guy for crushing the front office and the organization publicly without having conversations behind closed doors with the powers that be and making it seem like they're trying to keep him from playing strictly because
but
they don't want him to play.
But they are. Wait, it's not that they're trying to make him sound like that. And how do you know they didn't have those conversations behind closed doors?
Because he said it. Like, am I crazy or did you guys not read the article? He said,
I didn't even know you sent us an article.
Okay.
I read the article.
He literally said it. Hey, I'm warming up, and then I'm being told I can't play. Nobody's told me why. Nobody's told me anything. So, yeah, he's crushing.
So why didn't they have a conversation with him?
Because it's obvious.
But you're killing him for not having a conversation with him. It sounds like they should have had a conversation with him.
Because if you're a front office, you're trying to better your NBA team's position no matter what the situation
Doesn't sound like anybody spoke to Giannis about it. That's their fault, not his.
Solana, Wade needed Shaq. Wade needed LeBron. Right? Jordan needed Pippen. Giannis had Chris Middleton and Miles Turner. Who has failed each other? Has Giannis failed the Bucks or the Bucks has failed Giannis for a decade?
So you're saying the Bucks building that roster in 2021. In 2021, 5 seasons ago, the Milwaukee Bucks organization gets zero credit for that championship run. Zero credit is what you're saying.
Without Giannis, they would have been a play-in team.
No, but
Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton's baby teeth hadn't came out yet.
Bro,
be honest, Solana.
Middleton was a really good team. It was a really good player.
They won a title.
But Giannis is the fuel. Giannis is the diesel behind everything that the Milwaukee Bucks. We wouldn't talk about the Milwaukee Bucks if Giannis Antetokounmpo wasn't there.
So when they got Drew Holiday, when they got Drew Holiday,
Giannis is the problem over the organization right now with this debate.
No, it's obvious that the organization and Giannis.
So why do you give Giannis such a hard time?
They've reached their end because I'm reading the comments from Giannis right now, and I laugh at Giannis Antetokounmpo.
But in other words, when he says, I don't know why they took me out of shoot-around or why I'm not playing, why do you default to Giannis should have a conversation? Why don't you default to, man, the organization doesn't seem to be communicating with the guy who delivered them a title?
Because I don't believe that the organization hasn't communicated this to Giannis.
Okay, so you're just, again, choosing not to believe Giannis. You're just choosing.
At this point, in this particular
No, not in this particular situation. In every situation, you don't believe Giannis, ever.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right.
We got to do a new segment, Giannis a lie.
Well, only Solana believes it, though. Come on, we're running out of time. We got to take a break.
It's not only Solana. Anybody that's been following the Milwaukee Bucks debacle for the past 18 to 20 months knows what I'm talking about. The true ball knowers out there know what I'm talking about. And I'm having an argument with two people who didn't even read the article that I sent them that I brought up.
I read that damn article. I was on the plane. I had time.
By the way, Giannis, you'll love Miami. Just want to make that clear. Your weather in South Florida right now, it is 83 degrees. It feels like it's 10,000 degrees in my studio. Tonight, the lows are going to drop into the mid-70s. That weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com.
Love how Solana just can choose to believe or not believe anybody based off of nothing. And then when something does happen, just blame it on that guy. Giannis doing everything we want NBA players to do. Yeah, I know the games don't mean anything right now, but I want to be out there playing. What a turd! Huh? Happened. All right, don't go anywhere. We got more to come. More to come.
Before we get to break, I do want to remind everybody about my favorite app right now. And daily fantasy users, pay attention. But really, everybody, pay attention. Right now, at this point of the basketball season, every bucket, every dime, and every win, it means more when you're playing on Prize Picks. And you don't want to pass up your next shot. Download Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Just use my code SOLANA. SOLANA. If you've never used Prize Picks, I've been telling you how simple it is. You download it, and then once you create your account, you use my code SOLANA, you're going to create a lineup. 2 to 6 players. and you're just picking more or less on their stat projections. That's it. So, for example, tonight, Victor Wembanyama is in action. His rebounds, it's set at 14.5. You pick more, that he's going to get more than 14.5 rebounds, or you pick less. He's going to get less than 14.5 rebounds. You do that for 2 to 6 different players, and they have every sport. It's not just basketball, soccer, college basketball for tonight, tennis, golf, baseball, hockey, football, UFC, pretty much every sport you can think of. And on Prize Picks, they've got so many cool features. There's a new one right now. It's called Early Payouts. If your player gets off to a hot start, you have the option to cash out those winnings before the game finishes. You can also choose the flex play, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses, or what I like to do, bigger payouts, go for the power play. Join me and millions of users. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use my code Solana, SOLANA. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. I'm telling you, create a lineup in less than a minute. That's how simple it is. So download it today. Use my code Solana. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
There's no crying in baseball.
Going
We are just a few days away from $1.50 pimento cheese sandwiches at Augusta.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I'm very excited. I'm staring at the menu right now on golf.com. Egg salad sandwich, pimento cheese sandwich, $1.50. Pork barbecue, $3. Masters Club sandwich, $3. A brewed coffee, if Mike Cunha ever goes there. Masters blend, fresh brewed coffee, $2. Chicken biscuit for breakfast, $3. Blueberry muffin, $2.50. Snacks at the Masters. Apple slices, $1.50.
Apple slices. What are we, 6?
Apple slices, $1.50. Chips, plain or barbecue, $1.50. Masters candy bar, $2.25. What's in a Masters candy bar? I didn't know they had that. I got to get one of those. Knowing the Masters is probably just like chocolate and peanuts, right? Like it's got to be something like basic Southern.
I would say just chocolate, just a Hershey's bar, but they call it a Masters bar.
I've got the details here. The candy bar.
Oh, this is their newest edition. It says
brand new. Yeah.
Wow.
And remember, all this stuff already debuted because this past week, I believe, was the women's tournament. I believe they play it the week before. So it's a dark milk chocolate bar.
This is so great, though. It literally is the Masters colors and just says candy bar.
Dark chocolate is healthy.
I like milk chocolate.
Same.
It's not healthy, though.
I don't think either of them are healthy.
Dark chocolate is healthy.
So what's in it, Solana?
Dark milk chocolate bars with layers of caramel, Rice Crisps, and hazelnut crunch.
Ooh. Oh, they got cutesy.
Mm-hmm.
Masters got cutesy.
Yeah.
Well, I got to get me one of those candy bars.
Will you put another candy bar in the package after you open it?
Heck yeah. If I get one Masters candy bar, I will save that wrapper for all future years. And then, I'll run out to CVS for when the Masters coming around. I'll buy a Mr. Good bar, wrap the thing up in the Masters candy bar. It's like being at Augusta.
You set.
5 o'clock Funky Buddha happy hour is coming up. Make a plan to spend a day enjoying great horse racing at Gulfstream Park in Hallandale Beach. Got live racing Thursdays through Sundays through the entire month of April. Cirque du Soleil Lucia is currently playing at Gulfstream Park right now. That runs through April 25th. Mark your calendars. It's less than a month away. The annual Kentucky Derby Trackside Watch Party is Saturday, May 2nd. You can get tickets and details at gulfstreampark.com/events. Gulfstream Park, perfect for a day of racing and fun. Also a perfect venue for groups, events, and private parties. They host groups from 10 to over 1,000 people. Make it a day at Gulfstream Park. Nothing better than a beautiful South Florida day, betting on some horse racing and enjoying the great sights and sounds of Gulfstream Park. You can get all the details at gulfstreampark.com.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
I love the colonoscopy. O'clock hour is the Funky Buddha Happy Hour. And tonight, got trivia at Funky Buddha in Oakland Park. Dan Day will be there. Trivia begins at 7:30. I would imagine you can watch the championship game tonight at Funky Buddha. That'll be on the TVs as well. And Funky Buddha Brewery, they are having a Panthers watch party on Saturday. Now, look, Panthers aren't going to the playoffs, but that doesn't mean you can't go out and enjoy a night at Funky Buddha with hundreds of other Panthers fans and celebrate what was a great, 2 seasons in a row for sure, really 3 seasons, and I'll say 4. But you go Saturday night, the Panthers watch parties at Funky Buddha are always excellent. They play the Maple Leafs on Saturday. Party kicks off at 6:30. Puck drops at 7, and it will be a time. So tonight you go to Funky Buddha, catch a little trivia with Dan Day, and watch the basketball game. And Saturday you go to Funky Buddha in Oakland Park, enjoy yourself a little Panthers watch party. 5 o'clock hour is the Funky Buddha Happy Hour. Let's jump into headlines with Solana, brought to you by Doral Hyundai. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. Visit them at Doral Hyundai or DoralHyundai.com.
Hey, we've got a national title game tonight, Hoch. How do you feel about
buddy.
that? Yeah. Tonight, you've got UConn, you've got Michigan. Michigan's a 1 seed. UConn is the 2 seed. They appear to be the team that has had the most exciting run back to the final with the way that they took down Duke. They weren't necessarily a favorite to be in this position, obviously, but Michigan is a 6.5-point favorite tonight.
Yeah, 6.5-point favorite. I have a bet working right now. I've got the Cubs to beat the Rays. It's opening day in Tampa. Rays are leading the Cubs 4-2 right now in the 4th.
All right. What is it, like just a money line bet to win?
Yeah, money line Cubs to win plus 105. They're a slight underdog. I bet $50. They're offering me a cash out of 24.05 right now. Cubs down 2, but I'm gonna let it ride.
And no little PCA prop.
Nah, just went with Cubs to win. Tailing my son on this one.
Okay, all right. The Marlins.
PCA has a hit. 0 for 1.
Bum. Los Marlins, they do play tonight. They open up a series against the Cincinnati Reds. The game will be on FM today, so the Marlins make their debut. They've been on WQAM now since opening day, but they'll make their debut on over 100,000 watts on our FM station on WQAM. Jansen Junk gets the nod for the Fish.
Yeah, it'll be 6 p.m. pregame. So right after us, 6 p.m. pregame. And then first pitch, 6:40. And you will hear it here on 104.3 FM. Jack McMullen and Steven Strom on the call. I'm imagining Jason Jackson will be at the ballpark. He loves the Reds.
Yeah, rooting on his Reds for sure.
Although the Heat are on the road tomorrow.
Yeah, they
he's
left
probably
already.
Not here, huh?
No, they left already. They're in Toronto. Yeah, they flew out a couple hours ago. They're in Toronto. They're going to play Toronto today, and then they're going to play tomorrow, Tuesday, and then they'll play the Raptors again on Thursday. Then we have to suffer through another Heat Wizards game on the second night of a back-to-back on Friday. I mean, Hoch, that Wizards team, like who they're putting out there. I know I was just defending tanking, but that is pretty shameful.
It's
what the
brutal.
Washington
It's
Wizards
shameful. It is. It's shameful. Anybody interested in going to the Marlins game tomorrow night? Because I'm coming to the studio. I'm doing the show in studio tomorrow. Lori's going to a show up at the Kravis Center, the Broadway series.
Mm-hmm.
So after the show, I could head over to Lone Depot Park.
Well, I got to work the Heat broadcast. If not, I'd be there. If you want to do a little Wednesday outing at Lone Depot Park, if that interests you, that certainly would interest me. But I don't know if you're planning on coming down Wednesday.
I am coming to the studio. I am planning Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week, but it's easy tomorrow because Lori's got the Broadway series. Right. Jimmy, you got any interest in the Marlins game tomorrow night?
Sounds interesting.
Sounds interesting.
Huh.
Would I have to pay for your parking?
Maybe.
Yeah. Always ends up being a money-losing endeavor when I take Jimmy somewhere.
You and Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm interested.
You and Jimmy sharing the machete at Lone Depot Park.
Jimmy, that's a photo. It's a photo op for us right there, man.
Yeah, I need that. I need that desperately.
How many feet of that machete do you think you could put down, Jimmy?
Not much.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Seeing you throw down a couple Costco glizzies, I'd say he's good for about 1.5 foot of that machete.
Yeah, but I think if there's only, it would only be if there was just like tortilla and cheese. I don't think he's he's gonna see what's in that machete thing and he's gonna duck out.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to consider Wednesday night, it's a 6:40 p.m. first pitch because the Marlins are playing the Reds for 4 games. So Thursday's a getaway game at noon. We could also just take Thursday off and go to the game at noon. I actually
was thinking about that. I'm not even joking. I was thinking about that.
You say less, brother. Let me know. But Wednesday, 6:40, couple broskies and a machete. I mean, you guys let me know.
Time of our lives.
The Heat, like I mentioned, will play in Toronto tomorrow. Norman Powell has been cleared to play.
The early line is out on the Heat game. Do you know what it is? You want to guess?
I do not know what it is. I'd guess it's Toronto minus 4.5.
Miami -1.
Ooh. I'll check the Raptors injury report, but let me double check. Dude, the Raptors maybe play tonight, Hawk. That's probably what it is.
So they're assuming players will rest on the second night of a back-to-back?
I guess. No, they don't play tonight.
Oh, the Heat are 1-point favorites. Does Toronto have anything to play for?
Yeah, no. I mean, they're right now the 7 seed.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought they were top 6.
No, they're the 7 seed. They're tied with the Sixers with the same record, but the Sixers have the tiebreaker over them. They're 2 games back of the 5 seed. So, no, they're trying to win. Like, these 2 games could be wildly important. In fact, Hawk, the Heat are only 2 games back in the loss column of the Raptors, and if the Heat win both of these games, they win the season series.
Oh,
so no matter what, they finish ahead of Toronto, assuming they win the other 2 games as well, which could matter, right? Because that could put the Heat in a position to be the 8th seed rather than the 9th seed, so they'll get 2 opportunities, and they'll get to host one of those games. Yeah, the Raptors don't have anybody out. Like, Emmanuel Quickly's questionable.
It's an interesting line.
My boy, Sandro Mamu Kelashvili is questionable, but everybody else is available. All right. Tonight, the NCAA championship game, as I mentioned, and a couple other big notes in the sporting world. UNC, they hired Mike Malone as their new head coach, and the Chicago Bulls fired everybody. Vice president, not everybody, but vice president of basketball operations and their general manager. They have been told to set their ass down.
Although the reports from the Bulls beat writers is the Bulls are going to do everything in their power to keep Billy Donovan from leaving.
All right.
All right.
Not what I expected.
Me neither.
Cats are in Montreal tomorrow. They'll play the Canadiens at 7. Your weather. In South Florida. Right now, it's 81 degrees.
My French friend, Jimmy.
Tonight, the lows are going to drop into the mid to low 70s. That weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit our friends at tornadoroofing.com.
Very rarely do we have an interview that is so universally applauded that you wonder, did they expect a lot less from us? But that was the feeling I got after Mike Biamonte. Mike Biamonte, the longtime public address announcer for the Miami Heat, joined us in the 2 o'clock hour. We all thought it was great. Generally, when I think an interview is great, you still get texts and tweets not thinking it was as great as we did. Everyone loved this. If you are a Heat fan, part of Heat Nation, this is a segment you need to listen to. Michael Biamonte in the next segment, he joined us in the 2 o'clock hour, and it really was fantastic. It'll give you chills at times. It is Championship Monday night in college hoops. If you're looking for a place to watch, look no further than Cheetah Pompano or Cheetah Palm Beach. Great spot to watch a game. They've got VIP areas, 4 stages of entertainment, and the most beautiful ladies in South Florida. Cheetah Pompano has an amazing complimentary gourmet lunch till 3 p.m. every day. Happy hour specials till 6. Don't forget, if you're planning a bachelor party, there's no better place to have it than Cheetah Pompano or Cheetah Palm Beach. You can get the details online or at either of the clubs. Every day is a great day at Cheetah Pompano Beach. You want to make sure you visit Cheetah Palm Beach as well. And again, you can watch the College Hoops Championship tonight at Cheetah Pompano or Cheetah Palm Beach. You can get all the details at cheetahsofl.com.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
I have a package of frozen corn dogs in my freezer right now as we speak.
I'm sorry to hear that.